Lots of great candidates at Indeed.com/high-impact.
The biggest local and national guests sit down for the biggest interviews with Justin Kinner on 1410 Wing Live, presented by Arrowhead Tax Service. Follow along live on ESPN Dayton's Facebook page and catch all previous episodes at wingam.com. All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio.
All right, everybody, we are back. It is the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash live here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Happy Friday. I hope all of you have had a great day. We're all getting set for a big weekend, of course. What do you have going on? I mean, you got to have something planned.
Always got something planned, man.
Golf?
No.
Boating?
No.
Doesn't sound like a good time then.
No. The wife finally got her a bike. You know, I'm a big bike rider. We have so many miles. And
like a Harley? Like
no. No. A pedal bike. Lance Armstrong.
Not about that.
So we got a bunch of great parks in the Dayton area. So many pathways you can ride along the river and everything like that. So I've been doing that for a couple of years now. And she kept saying, I'm going to buy a bike. I'm going to come ride with you. I'm going to come buy a bike, ride with you. She has finally got the bike. We're going on a ride tomorrow and Sunday. So we're going to be out there on the path. So look out for your boy.
No.
On your left.
You need Netflix movies. You know,
I am going to watch that Jamie Foxx movie that's on Netflix. I've heard some good things, so I'm going to watch that as well.
All right. So, again, I hope everyone has some fun plans for the weekend. And we got a jam-packed show for you here this afternoon. We're going to hear from Herm Edwards coming up here in just a little bit. Herm Edwards joined us on 1410 Wing Live. We're going to hear from Arizona State head football coach Herm Edwards coming up at 4 o'clock. Him and Keith Byers played for a short amount of time together in the NFL with the Philadelphia Eagles. So Byers is going to join us for that conversation. But it's interesting, Kev, kind of getting his perspective on the difference in the reaction to the postponement of the 2020 fall season out of the Pac-12 versus the reaction out of the Big Ten. And we'll want to touch on this quickly. I guess, again, the parents are still outside that headquarters.
Oh, they're still there now?
Headquarters. Oh, they're back today. In fact, there was police involved that was basically trying to kind of push them back and not let them get as close to the headquarters this time. And I guess all I have to ask is, and I respect their fight, okay, but what are you trying to accomplish right now? Like, and I know what they want. They want transparency, and those are cute buzzwords, and they meant a lot more earlier in the week than I think they do now. My point is, you want transparency, you want all that, but okay, let's say you get it. Are you going to sleep better at night? If they say, okay, here's our scientific findings as to why we pulled the plug on the 2020 season, are you going to say, oh, well, why didn't you just say so? Okay, I'm going to go sit over here and be quiet. No, like, come on now. Like, this is why I'm like not really getting too emotionally caught up in it, because I'm like, it's not going to change anything. Right. And I feel like you're just creating more noise than there needs to be, because it's not like the Pac-12 is having these same issues. The Pac-12, 12 all 12 presidents and athletic directors all voted for the postponement. Now, the Pac-12 is not the Big Ten. I completely get that, but it is strange to me how one conference can just be so, basically unorganized, and then there's the Pac-12. Again, that's on Kevin Warren. Yeah. But if you are a parent right now, I understand the hurt and the pain, and the players are hurt too. But it's very interesting when we talk to Herm Edwards coming up. It's night and day. Like, there's no stress over there. Like, Herm is just very like, yeah, it sucks the situation we're in, but what he's happy about is the fact that all the Pac-12, all college players, they get to keep their eligibility. And so for those who do get to play this year, it's basically a free year. So even if they play football in the spring, you're not losing a year of eligibility. If they, for the SEC and everyone playing this fall, they're not using a year of eligibility. Right. So you might say, okay, that's a disadvantage, but all I'm saying is I understand their anger, but I think it's just pointless at this point. I don't know what you're trying to accomplish.
For me, I'm all about them. They have the right to go and protest.
Yes.
And everything like that. But I think that it's a short-sighted viewpoint with people protesting and demanding answers. And much like you said, there's nothing the Big Ten is going to say outside of saying, oh, you know what? You guys are right. Let's play football. There's nothing they're going to say to make them happy, to make them say, all right, I see your viewpoint. I see where you're coming from. We've talked about this before, where the only way that the Big Ten, MAC, Pac-12 could be right is if someone passes away, and nobody wants to see that.
Yep.
So if they make it through a season, it's a told you so. let's say they even go a halfway through the season and then they stop the season because outbreaks just increase so much, people are still going to say, see, we could still play at least 5 games. There's nothing you can do. There's absolutely nothing they can say. So they can protest until they're blue in the face. This isn't like any other protest that has been going on in this country for the last couple months. This is something totally different. This isn't necessarily life or death. Well, it actually is life or death. The Big Ten believes that they're protecting people from losing their lives and protecting themselves from getting their institutions of higher learning shut down, because best believe if somebody dies on that football field, those schools, that commissioner, that president of the university, they're all getting sued for billions of dollars.
Well, I mean, I guess parents right now, a lot of reports coming out today that parents are about to, begin suing the Big Ten. And again, more power to you. Knock it out. And I think the Big Ten was probably expecting this to some degree. But, I don't know. It's just one of those things where I don't get what I get what they're doing. I just don't get what they're trying to accomplish. Because earlier in the week, I had more respect for it because I'm like, oh, man, all right, man, they're fighting. And this might be able to turn that tide a little bit. That might be able to put enough pressure on Kevin Warren to maybe sit down and reevaluate everything. But when the second Kevin Warren came out, and that would have been what? When did we have Letterman Row on Austin Ward? I think it was Tuesday. So either Tuesday or Wednesday when we had Austin Ward on. The second, and 457-946, by the way, if you want to jump in on the conversation, phones are going off now, so we'll make sure we get to your calls in a second. But from the second that Kevin Warren came out and announced that, hey, you know what? We are not going to revisit this. We are not going to reevaluate our stance on this. I think the second that announcement was made, I think it was time to just say, okay, you could still complain, you could still raise hell, you could still send, letters, you could still try to seek answers. I just don't know what these protests outside the Big Ten headquarters is going to accomplish at this point. But again, 457-9464. Give the parents credit for being out there and continuing to fight for it. Let's go to the phones where we got Nick. Nick, thanks for holding. How are you, man?
How you doing, sir?
Good.
So I think the thing that sticks out to me is that the I don't know if you call it the miscommunication or what, is because you hear the commissioner say, hey, we all stood by this is what we decided. But there was no vote. And you hear the other universities saying, well, we didn't vote. But then, in his letter, we've made this decision. Is there a vote or was there not a vote? How can you say, and, all these other, like in the state of Ohio right now, you're going to have high school football. The University of Cincinnati's playing football. The Bengals, the Browns, and, Ohio State's not.
Yeah, but Kent State isn't playing. Akron isn't playing. Bowling Green isn't playing. Ohio University isn't playing.
Real teams, though, Kev. Real teams.
The reason those schools aren't playing is because their payday was canceled when all these conferences were going conference only, and they just can't fund the budget. They also are playing because...
What budget do high school sports have?
But you're talking about busing, not flying and trying to cover your other athletic sports, right?
Yeah, they were going to play a conference only, and you can bus to all those schools in the MAC.
But you also pay to play in high school, right? You don't pay to play in college.
Okay.
So you're getting, by having athletics, your athletes are paying to fund your sport. In college, you don't. Your funding comes from the revenues. Ohio University gets their funding from that $2 million game that they get to go to the horseshoe and get the crap kicked out of them. Yeah. That $2.5 million is their athletic budget for most of all their sports.
But Nick, the other thing too, like when and I saw that floating around on Facebook, man, think about it. The Bengals, the Browns, and all high schools are playing, and the Buckeyes aren't. I mean, that's a cute little angle to position it, but like this isn't a Ohio State like everyone, like it almost sounds like they're saying, "Oh, Governor DeWine, I can't believe you're not letting Ohio State play." DeWine has nothing to do with this. I'm not saying that, and I know you're not saying that, but this was out of the control of anything else. I mean, the NFL teams are independent of what is going on as far as this is concerned. High school, I mean, their decision maker made that. The decision maker for the Big Ten made their decision, and that's why with all the answers that they're trying to go for, the only answer that people really want is their answer, and that's okay, fine, you can play. And that answer is not coming, no matter how many letters, no matter how long you stay outside the headquarters, no matter how many lawsuits you threaten. That's why I'm just like, I understand what they're doing. I just don't see the point at this point.
Well, I think that's just an example, Justin, right? Mm-hmm. Look at Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh's playing. University of Pittsburgh's playing college football. The other states that have college programs are playing as well, and you're telling, as a parent, you're telling me that it's like me saying Kevin can go play golf, Justin, but you can't. right?
Yeah, I don't want to see that.
But what I'm saying is, they want answers to say, okay, what is it that made you guys say we're not playing? Because that's the kind of thing the Big Ten hasn't said. All it said is, through our research, we're not playing. Now, controversy, the Pac-12, all the universities and the presidents have come out and all said, we all agree we're not playing. You haven't had that from the Big Ten. So I think that's part of the parents' frustration to say, hey, wait a minute, I've sent my kid to your university for you to protect them. I get that. But you're telling me that Alabama's playing and all these other places and even colleges within the same state are going to go play. I want answers. I want you to tell me who you talk to. Is it a waiver? Is it because you want players to sign a waiver? That's fine. But give them that answer. Don't just say, I've spoken and that's it.
But Nick, I know what you're saying, but even if they did that, and maybe for you you would be satisfied with that, but I'm just like, there's so many of these similar situations where you're demanding this, demanding that, but if you get it, they'll still find something else to jump onto to criticize. And by the way, I know what we keep saying about, Pittsburgh's playing and Penn State's not playing. Technically, until there's actually kickoff, until there is actually the time click,
right.
Like I still think, and this is just me, I still think we're wasting a lot of time complaining about how come they could play and we can't, because I think ultimately when it's all said and done, I will be very shocked if any of the other Power 5 conferences actually get their season kicked off at all.
Your parents are also complaining about that these campuses now have all these students on them too. Mm-hmm. So it's okay for the students to come live in a dorm, which is a box, right? 600 square feet maybe. But my kid can't play football. It's just, there's so many things that just don't logically add up. But to me, the Big Ten should have been smart and held the carrot out there and not canceled it. Because I agree with you, probably as we get into September, before that first kickoff, we're probably not going to have any college football. But what you've done is you've created, reputational harm, I believe, to the Big Ten, which already, you and I talked about multiple times, that the Big Ten can't avoid to have or afford to have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that just makes it even that much worse.
But no, I get it. And look, this is going to be interesting moving forward. And Kevin Warren has basically just said, hey, this is my decision. I'm sticking to it. But Nick, thanks so much, man. You have a great weekend. Great hearing from you. All right, 457-9464. We are live on Facebook, by the way, and we can take all your reactions on Facebook when you tune in and watch and comment beneath. We're able to pull your comment in. David Shaw says, I agree, Justin, earlier in the week, this meant a lot more. Now that the Big Ten said there is no way that they are playing this fall, there's nothing that this is going to do. And again, David referring to our conversation a little bit ago about I respect what they're doing. I get what they're still fighting for, but I don't know what they're trying to accomplish. I don't really know what their end game is here, because Kevin Warren's not going to open the door and say, all right, guys, you got your season. You can go home now. That ain't happening. More of the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
It's Danielle for CertaPro Painters. I've used CertaPro Painters for pretty much everything that requires paint. And most recently, we had our entire house painted. And I mean the entire house. Gutters, shutters, windowsills, siding, and even the brick. Yes, everything. Talk about a phenomenal job. Exterior painting is the most effective way of boosting the curb appeal of your house. And our curb appeal, well, it went up to 100 plus. CertaPro painters really are amazing. They know how to get the job done right and paint a wide variety of surfaces, including stucco, vinyl siding, aluminum, brick, shutters, doors, windows, and trim. They do interior, exterior, residential, commercial, and I promise you won't be disappointed. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in your local community. You can schedule your free estimate online right now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Check them out now and get the job done right. CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts in painting. The Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission is here to assist veterans during this COVID-19 pandemic. Even though we are not meeting face-to-face, we are here for you. We understand it is a difficult time with this virus threat and the strain of implementing social distancing. For those Montgomery County veterans who have lost their source of income due to their employers having to close or reduce their business hours due to the COVID-19 pandemic, you may be eligible for COVID-19 Special Financial Relief Assistance. Please contact the Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission
Commission at 937-225-4801 Monday through Friday for more information or to have an application sent to you. You can also visit mcvsc.org. The Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission is here to help Montgomery County veterans during the COVID-19 crisis. Call 937-225-4801 Monday through Friday or visit them online at mcvsc.org.
O'Reilly. Superstart batteries exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts are designed to meet the electrical demands of today's vehicles. Get dependable power and performance from a Superstart battery for your car, truck, motorcycle, lawnmower, boat, and more. Our professional parts people can help you find just what you need. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Total Wine & More is pleased to announce Points with a Purpose, our way of saying thanks by investing in the communities we serve. Now through September 13th, collect 5 times points on thousands of wines and spirits. For every point earned, a matching donation will be made to local charities, up to $2 million in total. A point for you is a point for your community. That's Points with a Purpose. Come shop with us today or visit TotalWine.com. See website for details.
Fall is just around the corner. So are Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot, where you can save every day on everything, from mulch to power tools, new appliances to a fresh coat of paint. You can even shop and save right from the app and get convenient delivery right to your door. The only question is, what will you do next? Tackle more fall projects with Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last, valid through September 7th.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers with home daily lanes. $2,000 sign-on bonus, great pay and benefits. Contact Cody. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation. Driven to succeed.
What do you want to da-da-da? What do y'all want to da-da-da? I have no idea what to da-da-da. We could switch to Progressive da. Oh, yeah? We could switch to Progressive and sa. Okay. We could sa and have to buy some za. Oh, yeah. Let's switch to Progressive to da and get some za with the money we saw. Yeah. Now we know we're going to da-da-da.
These days, nothing is normal and everything is weird. But you could still save big when you switch to Progressive. It might just be the most normal thing you da-da-da.
Quote to da at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Oil change coming up? We can help you out. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $27.99. And if you need it fast, we can help you get it fast. Whether it's at home with our next day delivery or in store and curbside with our free same day pickup. The choice is yours. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Hi, Joey Beckett here at Buckeye Ford in Sydney, home of the Works package and the double take tire specials. Call today for your appointment, 937-419-8473 or 1-800-700-0050. Buckeye Ford in Sydney, exit 92 off of I-75. We'll see you soon.
Try Kraft's P3 portable protein packs. Up to 13 grams of protein from meat, cheese, and nuts. And with convenient on-the-go packaging, P3 is there for your commute or whenever you need a boost of energy.
Reds fans, don't miss the Justin Kinner Show, weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. You'll get the latest Reds news, headlines, lineups, player features, and recaps. Don't miss a game or a show on Dayton's home of the Reds, ESPN 1410, Wing AM. College football playoffs, Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, and more. Catch the Keith Fire Show Mondays at noon on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash back with you here on a Friday. Hope all of you have big fun plans lined up for the weekend. Still plenty more to get into. Herm Edwards, head coach at Arizona State. He's going to join us. It's supposed to be at 4. We're going to move that back to 4:30. From our conversation from earlier today, a lot to still get into. How about the NBA draft lottery last night? We now know the official draft order, and we now have a clearer picture for where Obi Toppin could end up. Obi Toppin, of course, Dayton Flyers. We'll get into that coming up later on in hour 2. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash back with you here live on Facebook. Facebook, so make sure you head to the Facebook page, search the Justin Kinner Show, follow the page, and of course you can watch the show every day from 3 to 6 p.m. Comment in the comment section to be eligible to win some cool prizes, including a $25 Skyline Chili gift card, and we will get that winner coming up later on in hour 3. The only way to be eligible to win the Skyline Chili gift card is by commenting in the comment section and interacting with the show. That's right, we are paying you or just trying to bribe you to be our friends for 3 hours a day. I always joke because they were like a frat. Basically, we got to buy our friends as far as that goes. More reaction again. Big Ten parents led behind Sean Wade's dad, demanding answers, they want Kevin Warren to do a conference call or a Zoom call with all the players. But by the way, I don't know how many people you can have on Zoom. All the players. And all the coaches and the Parents Association, is that a thing now? Is this like the PTA? Is it? I mean, what's going on here? I get it. They want answers, and they should want answers.
Is that too much to ask?
I think. I don't know why technically they got their response. This is what I'm saying is like you wanted a response, then you got the response. You didn't like the response, so now you want another response. And then he'll do a Zoom call. You won't like his answers. Zoom call ends. And then the next day, nope, not good enough. We're going back out, everybody. Like, it's just a never-ending cycle. So I guess it's not unrealistic to want it.
I don't think it is because the Pac-12 did it. And that's why, people are upset because they're seeing transparency from the other conference that canceled. We're not hearing all this uproar, not only from you hear disappointment, but you're not hearing this uproar from parents and players because they had that open line of communication. Do I think if he did that, it would be like, cool, man, thanks? No, obviously not. But I do think that some parents will be like, all right, fine. We fought the quote unquote good fight. Finally answered some questions that we had questions to. It is what it is. Let's go ahead and get ready for next season. Will some people still be pushing the envelope? Absolutely. But I don't think it's too much to ask for him to go out there and have a little conversation with people.
But do you really think it's going to be hey, Mr. Warren, nice to meet you. Sean Wade's dad here, big fan.
Well, you know what? As I think about it, and as soon as you said that, I thought about that. They're going to want to ask questions, and not just a question. They're going to want follow-up questions to whatever he says. So he ain't going to do it. Now that I think about it, he's not going to do it because he's not going to allow follow-up questions. He'll make a statement, and that'll be the statement, and that's it. And furthermore, every time he's been on TV and they asked him questions, he refused to answer the questions or danced around the answer and gave a vague answer. The most answers you're going to get is reading that statement. So as I think about it, he ain't going to do it. He's not going to do it.
No, but another response on Facebook, Shaw says, all the parents have to do is read Warren's statement from earlier in the week. And I agree, but at the same time acknowledge the fact that the parents have read it and they're still not happy. But this is why from the very beginning I have been saying, parents, you don't really want answers. You want your answer. You want your way. You don't you don't want an explanation. That's why I don't believe that they really want a detailed outline of why they pulled the plug on the season. The only thing that the parents want is, all right, you can go ahead and play. I want that. Don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, I think that the parents they're just fighting something that the end result is just not realistic as far as that's concerned. Shaw also says the Pac-12 has a better commissioner. Lack of leadership from the hypocrite gets this response. Shaw, I know what you're trying to do with the hypocrite thing. I'm not going there. Not going there. I know what he's trying to do. Kevin Warren's a hypocrite because his son's playing football in the SEC. It just means more in the SEC. Yeah, I saw an article from 11 Warriors last night, or I think it was Letterman Row, that just said something about the parents or something about the parents want the same thing that Kevin Warren's son has, and that's the choice to play. And I'm like, well, go play in the SEC then, because that's you don't have. The answer's right in front of you. Yeah, Brady says a great example of parents acting like children. You see what you did, Brady? You got a it's Christmas. We'll be back in a moment, hour 2.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Finding the next job is a big job, and that part of what you do is a little tough right now. Because of that, Lowe's for Pros is here to help. Get $400 in leads on us with a free 1-year subscription from Home Advisor to connect to jobs that make sense for you. Sign up at lowesforpros.com/pro-loyalty to get started. Just one more reason why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Now let's get to work. Subscription and $400 lead credit subject to Home Advisor's approval and terms. Valid for new Home Advisor customers only. Lowe's loyalty required. More terms apply. Valid through 9/9 US only.
It's time for some straight talk. You know what covering your bases is in baseball, right? Making sure you have no holes in your defense. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. And you'll pay up to 50% less than big carriers and still use their same networks. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data and 2G. No contract, no mystery fees. Fully covering your bases for 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
Hitting the road this summer? Do what truck drivers do. Bring plenty of 5-Hour Energy. You'll get the alert, energized feeling you need to get where you're going and do everything you want to do when you get there. It's small, light, and portable, like it was made for road trips. Just crack it open, knock it back, and keep both hands on the wheel. Because when it comes to road trips, safety comes first. 5-Hour Energy. Energy on the go. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Capital One checking and savings accounts have no fees or minimums and a top-rated banking app that lets you manage your money anytime, anywhere, even from your favorite hiking trail. With Capital One's app, you can check your balance, deposit checks, pay bills, and transfer money from wherever you are anytime you want, even when you're cooking dinner. Open a fee-free checking or savings account online in about 5 minutes. This is banking reimagined. Capital One, what's in your
Kinner for Justin Kinner on Twitter. That's 1410 KINNER and ESPN Dayton for the station Twitter handle. WING 1410 Dayton. Dayton's ESPN Radio. It's the Justin Kinner Show, live here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM. Tweet the show at 1410 Kinner or give us a call at 457-9464. We now send you to the Wing Studios in Kettering. Here's your host, Justin Kinner.
Hello. These things are hot. Gotta be careful. I tell you what. I mean, Tom Brenneman has made me terrified of mics. Period. I'm not gonna lie. People could just say, "Well, you could just not say anything stupid."
Yeah,
that's true. I saw today, by the way, on Twitter. Let me go. I gotta find out. I forgot who tweeted it out. It was. Hold on. I'm gonna get there in a second. John Fay put out a tweet last night from Anthony DeScafani about Tom Brenneman. And of course, Anthony DeScafani says, I think it's better that he is gone, to be honest. And again, these players are being asked these questions about what happened with Tom Brenneman and stuff. And I think what interests me is, like, athletes are always looked at under a microscope anyways. And I don't think, and this isn't, I don't think it's that far-fetched or a hot take or anything. I don't think you have to look that far or athletes just got to be careful. That whole term locker room talk, okay, that's a real thing. Like the things that are said in the locker room, it's like there's just different rules in the locker room as far as what you can say, and what's humorous in the locker room is not always accepted or humorous outside of a locker room, okay? And I'm not going to go into the way it was used politically years ago. It's not what I'm trying to do, but you know what I mean? Like that term is true. So I just think that athletes need to be quiet and be careful on how they answer questions about Tom Brenneman, because I have a hard time believing that the only thing that athletes talk about is scripture and Bible study. And yeah, let's just stop. I'm not okay with that, like at all. As far as players coming out and then the media too, I'm seeing all these articles on The Athletic, and I'm just so heartbroken by Tom Brenneman. You could be, I get all that. You could be disappointed, but just, you got to stop. Everyone is acting like everyone is just, they've never said anything. And I'm not defending. He should be suspended. I'm not surprised that Fox let go of him. I'll be very, very surprised if we ever see him or hear him call a Reds game again. So no, this isn't me defending Tom Brenneman as I got accused of here on Twitter. And of course, everyone tries to make up their own rules and says, well, actually, you are defending him. No, I'm not. That's why I'm telling you I'm not. So you don't get to make up the rules here. I do. So as I said, put a hot mic in any clubhouse or dugout for an entire game, Kev. Mm-hmm. We'll just see how holier than thou these athletes actually are. Like, I promise you, if you have a mic falling around everywhere, you're going to say something that's offensive to somebody out there. And I'm not justifying what Tom did, but sometimes you just got to say, yeah, it's disappointing what he said and move on. But this whole, like, you got to, it's like you have a pulpit in front of you and you got to make sure that you over preach to the world that, oh, no, I am just buttoned up. I am the nicest individual in the world. I've never said anything mean before. Stop it. Just stop. Just stop.
When I re-listened to his apology, because I was listening to it because
another home run,
because it was hysterical. I see what people were saying, like, but I saw it in a different light. He was trying to save that job, boy. He was, because he apologized. You were correct. He did apologize to the community that he offended. But I don't know if I'm gonna be on this microphone again. I don't know if I'm ever going to make a call again. I want to apologize to my bosses and everything. And that's something you should do. But it just was so awkward, man. It was so awkward because at the same time, I was amazed that he was still able to call a baseball game and make an apology at the same time. And not only that, he was on camera. In baseball, well, in sports, when you make sports calls, the actual announcer, they're not on camera. Mm-hmm. The camera's on the action. But in this case, he was the action, and he's right into the camera, apologizing, calling what's going on the field. Like, it was amazing how talented he is. And the other part, it was so silent for like the first 10 seconds until he uttered that word.
Yeah, because to me, that means he had his headset on and the producer, like, it was a comment. To me, what that says is it's not like he just randomly it's quiet, yell out something, whatever, crazy. To me, it was in a response to something that was said to him in his headset. Like, if I had to guess, I don't know if I had to guess, that stuff's just coming out as far as, like, he has his headset on, because literally right after he said it, it was Reds Live, brought to you by whatever roofing place it was. And by the way, now I can't, every time I hear that roofing place's name brought up, like last night in the game, every time they brought up Ray Sinclair Roofing, I'm just laughing because all I can hear is that stupid thing that he said again. And I'm like, unfortunately for that business, that thing is going to be queued up to that business, right? Reds Live presented by, I'm like, oh, you got to be kidding me. But no, he screwed up. You can't, there's no defending it. There's none. I'm not even trying to defend it. All I'm tired of is just every time I get on social media, it's just, I was up all night trying to come up with words to say about my thoughts on Tom. Shut up. Stop. Just stop. It was wrong for what he said. That's it. We don't need to have an entire sermon about why it was wrong. We know it was right. It was wrong, period. But it's like people are trying to overemphasize that. I'm so disappointed in him. In fact, I need you guys to understand how disappointed I am in him so that you understand that I am so far the opposite way of saying things like that. Like, that's all this is. And again, Tom Brenneman's another prime example of why. And again, this is a weird overlap here, but like with the parents, what they're trying to demand out of the Big Ten, like, this is a prime example of why people are never happy with anything. When people say, well, he hasn't said anything, he needs to apologize. Then what do? We critique the apology. Well, Kevin Warren, he needs to come out and talk about why he pulled the plug on the Big Ten. He already did. You didn't like it. Now you want another explanation. We are never happy. People you got to understand something too about Tom Brenneman when it comes to the network that he worked with. He's worked there a long time, and he knew that, yes, he knew who he offended, but you know what? You know who he felt bad for? Because to him, his family is the guys he works with and the guys he works for. He was so embarrassed. He knew that he embarrassed them. He knew that he made them look bad. I have no problem with him. I mean, people act like, man, I was listening to some shows today. Just they were calling him Thom, by the way, Thom Brenneman, like not Tom, but Thom Brenneman. And they said, you go, oh man, I mean, it was Bomani Jones and others who were like, oh, and you could just tell. I mean, this is inside him. This is who he is. He, and you could tell that he didn't care about offending the people he was talking about. He cared about his bosses right away. Yeah, he does care about his bosses. And you think just because is there a certain protocol for an apology order that, hey, when you say something stupid, when you say something about that offends, gay people, if you say something that offends this race or that race, here is the script for how you need to apologize and who you need to apologize to first. Because if you do it out of order, that's it. That means that you don't care. Stop. This is what I mean by when they apologize, it's not good enough. Because Kev, I feel like if he wouldn't have apologized and we hadn't heard anything from him, we'd be like, oh, look, he doesn't even care. He has nothing to say. He has nothing to say. He doesn't even care. He's not even sorry. But then when he apologizes, we critique the way his eyes are moving. We critique how he's holding his hands. We critique the pace of the apology. This is why I don't like apologies. I don't like it. Just don't say anything. How about that? But when you do, you're SOL basically, because there's really no way out of it. And not that he should get out of it, but you see what I'm saying as far as that's concerned.
Fair enough.
You didn't like that response. That's why you're just like, next topic. No, like there was nothing he was going to say to make anyone happy.
Yeah, I mean, I get what people are saying about the awkward thing, man. Like in a perfect world, and we don't even know. Like I've never done a radio broadcast like that where you're calling the game and everything like that. Who replaced him in the booth?
Jim Day.
So we don't know where Jim Day was. Jim Day could have been in the bathroom. He could have been doing a million and other things because he wasn't supposed to be there. So they have to stretch it until he gets there, until they gets the replacement there. So that's probably why he continued to call the game, because I know some people were like, pull him off of there right away after it said it. Like, well, they still have sponsorships that need to get read. They still got a game to call. Like it ain't like they just got somebody on standby waiting for somebody to mess up, and then boom, you messed up, boom, plug the right guy, next guy in. Like we don't know where he was, the replacement guy. So I get what you're saying, but I also understand that an apology today. That's why I always say when people apologize and say they're going to do better, it's up to us as the people to hold them accountable for what they say they were going to do in their apology. If they don't, then we can trounce on them. But we also just don't need to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, well, they apologize and that's it. They apologize. Keep it pushing. No, they said they were going to do X, Y, and Z to educate themselves and do better. It's up to us as the people to hold them accountable for that.
Yeah, but I mean, look, he made a stupid comment. It was a stupid joke. He doesn't hate gay people. Like that's the thing that irritates me with this. It's like, oh, he said that he hates gays. No, he was insensitive. If he's guilty of anything, he's insensitive. And by the way, that word that he used, man, I don't even hear people use that word anymore. So I'm not making excuses for him. But like we act like we just are. Folks, think about the conversations you have with your friends. You don't get appalled by the things your friends say when you're out wherever. But man, when you hear someone else do it, and that's the thing, we talked about this yesterday. Thom Brenneman is one of those that people already always had something negative to say about him as a broadcaster anyway. The only thing he did now was give them something legit to hate him for. Before it was, we didn't like how he said this word. We don't like how he said that word. Well, now he used a word that he really should not have used. And now you have something real to not like about him as far as that's concerned. Who knows? But he's off the NFL broadcast for Fox moving forward. The Reds have yet to announce, the Reds have yet to announce whether or not, what his future is. He's suspended as of now when it comes to that situation with the Cincinnati Reds. So who knows? But coming up around the corner, we'll get back into a little college football talk. Herm Edwards is going to join us at the top. Here in about 15 minutes, 4:30. We'll talk with the Arizona State head football coach, Herm Edwards, again, formerly with ESPN. Interested to hear from him as far as the conversation we had about the Pac-12 and the differences in how the Pac-12 parents and the athletic directors and, of course, the presidents were able to handle the situation compared to the Big Ten and just the chaos that is going on there. We'll get into some. By the way, because there's no NFL preseason games, the Bengals had like a scrimmage today, like an exhibition game. And, of course, Joe Burrow's Tom Brady. He's the greatest. He's the best. I mean, seriously, I don't even know why we're having a season. I don't know if they can go get that Lombardi trophy and just get it over to Cincinnati as quick as possible. You know what I mean? Like, Cincinnati's just that good. By the way, AJ Green didn't practice today. He was on the sideline, street closed. I don't know if he thought, I think when he got to the field today, he goes, "Oh, we're here. Oh, I thought we were at Welcome Stadium. I was sitting out today. My bad. Let me go get I left my pads at home." Where's AJ Green?
You want it both ways, dog.
I want it
both ways.
What do I want both ways?
You want to wreck Joey B so bad.
Oh, and trust me, there's no room for me to wreck Joey B because, well, that's what the Bengals are for. But I guess he
Joe
killed
Burrow
it
so bad.
He killed. The last time people were this excited was when, Brett Favre threw the football on the Wrangler commercials. Oh man, look at the way he throws that ball. He's so fantastic, so good. Joe Burrow, for one, no one's touching him. I guess he did get chased out of bounds and he flipped over the water cooler like an idiot. Like, I mean, seriously, slide.
Here it is.
Slide. What is wrong with you? Like, then he would have got hurt. And like, I mean, come on. He has to be smarter than that. Who? I mean, I've got a shot. I'm going to run it. Every play is like 4th and 1 in the fourth quarter. I just got to make sure. He literally ran out of bounds and got flipped over one of the water tables right over there. And to me, that's stupid. And of course, Bengals fans on Twitter, oh man, he's so aggressive. Oh, I love it. He's going to be fantastic. Oh my God. We've been waiting for a quarterback that jumps over water tables. I mean, oh my goodness. So glad we went 2-14. If it wasn't for going 2-14, we would not be able to watch our quarterback nearly have a season-ending injury because he wouldn't slide and instead ran into a water table. Good job, Joey B. Did you learn that in the first or second year you were sitting out at Ohio State?
Why you don't like Joey B no more, man? Because about 2 months ago, you loved him. Huh? You loved him.
I don't dislike him. I just thought
all this stuff.
He can be rookie. Ron says you're afraid that he will do better than Hayfield. I'm a hater.
Tell him, Ron.
By the way, since we're going to overreact to Twitter videos, did you see the great drop back from Baker Mayfield today? Woo! Down the field, 40-yard plus pass connected to OBJ. And by the way, this little thing that you always do. No, there was none of that. OBJ pulled it down against double coverage too.
Oh! No, he can catch the difficult pass. He just has trouble catching the easy passes.
No, not this year. He's good.
Okay.
Baker Mayfield's in shape. Not round like last year. He's in actual real shape. He's ready to go. Shaw says Joey B will wreck himself. No, I'm not going to give him that credit for wrecking himself. That's going to be the Bengals' job. He's the best against the Bengals defense. Well, to be fair, it is the Bengals defense as far as that's concerned. Herm Edwards joins us, 4:30 coming up. That's some NFL talk. The NBA draft order is set. We'll get to all of that. Obi Toppin, where does he end up? Yesterday, we were just guessing. Now we have a clearer picture of where he could possibly fall in the draft. That's next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Partly sunny skies this afternoon with a high of 85 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy down to a low of 64. And tomorrow, partly sunny, then slight chance of thunderstorms with a high of 84. I'm Leanna Ray for 1410 ESPN Radio.
It's Danielle for CertaPro Painters. I've used CertaPro Painters for pretty much everything that requires paint. And most recently, we had our entire house painted. And I mean the entire house. Gutters, shutters, windowsills, siding, and even the brick. Yes, everything. Talk about a phenomenal job. Exterior painting is the most effective way of boosting the curb appeal of your house. And our curb appeal, well, it went up to 100 plus. CertaPro painters really are amazing. They know how to get the job done right and paint a wide variety of surfaces, including stucco, vinyl siding, aluminum, brick, shutters, doors, windows, and trim. They do interior, exterior, residential, commercial, and I promise you won't be disappointed. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated right here in your local community. You can schedule your free estimate online right now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Check them out now and get the job done right. CertaPro Painters, proven and trusted experts in painting.
Champagne Dental, taking the fear out of dinner.
Champaign Dental Group in Urbana knows how important it is for you to have a healthy, bright smile. We believe maintaining oral health is an integral aspect of your overall health. This is why we want to reward you for your regular checkups with our Forever Bright Teeth Whitening Program. Call today to set up an appointment and let us help make your smile bright. Champaign Dental Group in Urbana, 653-8650, and online at champaigndentalgroup.org.
Fall is just around the corner. So are Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot, where you can save every day on everything, from mulch to power tools, new appliances to a fresh coat of paint. You can even shop and save right from the app and get convenient delivery right to your door. The only question is, what will you do next? Tackle more fall projects with Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last, valid through September 7th.
Redbox has top entertainment with new movies and big hits. And now they're giving you a chance to win big money. Enter the Redbox 15K Summer Sweepstakes. Rent or buy any Sony movie now through August 24th, and you could win the $15,000 grand prize. Rent Jumanji: The Next Level, Little Women, Bad Boys for Life, and other Sony movies at redbox.com/15K sweeps. Make it a movie night, and you could win big with Redbox. No purchase necessary. Must be at least 18 years old and a U.S. resident. For official rules and to learn more, including how to enter for free via email, visit redbox.com/15K sweeps. It's time for some straight talk. You know what covering your bases is in baseball, right? Making sure you have no holes in your defense. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. And you'll pay up to 50% less than big carriers and still use their same networks. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data and 2G. No contract, no mystery fees. Fully covering your bases for 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless, only at Walmart. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Geico gets you access to licensed agents 24/7, which means that Geico is always there for you. If only everyone was always there for you, like your mom, when you fill out really, really important paperwork on the first day of a new job.
Name, check. Birthday, social security, is that a thing? Hey, Mom, what is my social security number? Mom. Okay, let's guess. 0017. Oh, Gemini. Hashtag done.
Geico, always there for you with savings and 24/7 access to licensed agents.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel. Language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Cordell Transportation is now hiring Class A CDL drivers with home daily lanes. $2,000 sign-on bonus, great pay and benefits. Contact Cody. Apply online at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation. Driven to succeed.
For official contest rules, go to wingam.com and click on contests.
Getting to work is a little different right now. Your new commute may be to the kitchen, or the couch, or the basement. If your commute has changed, you could be saving money on car insurance. With pay-per-mile car insurance from Allstate, you get the same reliable coverage you'd expect, but only pay for the miles you drive. Drive less, save more with Allstate. Visit Allstate.com or call an agent for a quote.
Price also includes a daily rate, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and its affiliates.
Hey, this is Joseph Newgarden. As a two-time IndyCar Series champion, I love that we're all getting back in our cars and back on the road, stopping at all the places we missed most. And to keep us going between those stops, there's Shell. Stop in to fill up with their best fuel ever. Save with the Fuel Rewards program. And to get snacks and essentials that can save you even more at the pump. That's just a few of the ways Shell helps you make the most of the stop you need to make. See full terms and conditions at fuelrewards.com.
Find the high-impact hire your business needs fast on Indeed. No long-term contracts and lots of great candidates at Indeed.com/high-impact.
He's a former Buckeyes great and now a college football Hall of Famer. And don't forget about his 13 years of NFL experience playing for the Eagles, Dolphins, Jets, and the New England Patriots. He's Dayton's own Keith Byers. Hang out with him every Monday at noon on The Keith Byers Show, presented by Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Whether you're at home, at work, or in your car, tune in to ESPN 1410 Wing AM or stream us live at wingam.com. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Back to the famous WING studios. Here's Justin Kinner and Kev Nash.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Justin Kinner, Kev Nash with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. See, I stepped out for just a few minutes, and the Bengals arguments just continuing here on the page. This is good stuff. Let's see. Billy Wright says, Justin, you were 10 times more obnoxious when Baker was a rookie. I disagree. I just called it how I saw it. And I was adamant that the Browns needed to start it from the very beginning. And then what's he do? He comes in after looking they looked abysmal the entire time that Tyrod Taylor was in there. Baker comes in and leads them to a win against the Jets. How about that? Then they go, Baker had a fantastic rookie.
Jets.
Fantastic rookie. They're no Steelers. Come on. Seriously. So at this point, I'm like, okay, well, then he goes and only breaks Peyton Manning's rookie season touchdown record. No big deal there, right? What are you squinting your eyes for? You're squinting. That's a fact, Jack. I'm telling you, that's a fact. And Billy said that. Oh, that's when David on Facebook says, "Let's see what he does again." Yeah, against real NFL defenses. And then, of course, talking about, of course, the fact that he's never out on the field. And Billy Wright says, "And when AJ has a better season than OBJ, you will finally shut up." I probably won't, Billy. You know that by now. Probably won't. Ron says that Case Keenum will be the starter for the Browns by week 4. Maybe. Look, I brought that up a while back that I thought it was kind of interesting that the Browns went after Case. I didn't think it was interesting that they went after Case Keenum. I thought it was smart that they went after Case Keenum. What I thought was weird was the length of the contract that they gave him, because they went after Baker Mayfield, or they went after Case Keenum and gave him a 3-year, $18 million, deal. And I'm like, well, and for one, if you're Case Keenum, backups don't sign 3-year deals. You sign 1-year deals or 1 year with an option. To me, I thought it was very strange, and I feel like there was some behind-the-scenes conversation again with Stefanski, again, who had a lot of success with Keenum when he was the offensive coordinator for the Vikings. So my thing is like, I feel like there was some behind-the-scenes conversation that, like, look, Baker's our guy, but if he does not work out this year, we are not married to Baker long term. This is a make or break year if you are Baker Mayfield. And dude, I can't believe it. I'm looking down. I'm like, it's the 21st of August right now. We talked about this yesterday. The season's closer than you think. Like three weeks from yesterday will be the first NFL game of the season. Thursday Night Football. It'll be, of course, the Chiefs, the defending Super Bowl champions, welcoming in the Houston Texans. So we are pretty close. Unfortunately, I always made fun of preseason football. I would kill for preseason football right now. Right now, no. Ugh. In a normal year, ugh. Today, though, no.
Ugh.
We haven't seen any football. I'll take preseason football.
Got football this Friday night.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much. We'll get into high school stuff coming up here in just a moment. And Billy says, and what about Baker last season? What about Baker last season? I've never once tried to make that turd smell pretty. It was not a good year, but that was Freddie Kitchens. Now watch what happens when you have a real head coach. Second-year quarterback. How many? Let's see. So if you go back, he's going to be a third year this year.
Yeah.
But that was his second year in the league.
That's when they made their leap,
now,
right?
Keep in mind, Baker Mayfield has
Lamar
like a different
Jackson.
head coach every single year since his junior year in college.
Was the MVP in his second year.
Lamar Jackson had an adult leading the team. So there's that. I know that's weird saying Harbaugh's an adult leading a team, but no, it's true. The brother's actually pretty good.
I'm just saying.
And I'm just saying you can't just negate facts. You can't just totally just like not even use common sense when talking about that. Harbaugh and the Ravens, that's a good organization. The Browns are not a good organization. So yes, Baker's behind the 8 ball as far as that's concerned.
Mahomes.
What about
MVP
Mahomes?
in his second year.
Again, good organization, great head coach, and Andy Reid. And by the way, it helps when you take over a playoff team and you're not taking over an 0-16 team like Baker did in his rookie year.
Just saying, second year, man.
Second year, yep. On good
Ben
teams.
Roethlisberger, Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Second year.
Again, good organization. You got to listen. You got to listen. I've yet to see a bad organization just draft somebody and then all of a sudden, boom, 2 years later, they're top of the NFL. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. There's a reason that Sam
Tom
Darnold,
Brady, second year, Super Bowl.
Good organization. Good organization.
I'm just pointing out things.
You're pointing out things, but you're not listening. You know what? Nope, not doing that. Not doing that today. I'm going to stay under it. I'm going to stay calm, cool, calm, and collected. Hey, by the way, what time is it? What time is it?
It's 4:27.
It's not Dame time? Well,
it definitely wasn't Dame time last night. They got smoked.
No, but Michael Jordan, Dame Lillard.
See?
Like, what happened?
That is you.
MJ don't take nights off, so how's Dame Lillard taking nights off?
Who said he was MJ?
Yeah, you and everyone else. I mean,
no one said that.
Basketball was on the verge of being canceled until Dame Lillard came and saved the day. Him and his 8-seeded Portland Trailblazers, which, by the way, Carmelo. Oh yeah, where were all those GMs that need an apology to you? The only apology that the NBA GMs are going to do is like, I'm sorry, who are you again?
So anybody on Portland
used to play on
anybody on Portland have a good game last night?
No,
they all played like terrible.
They're not that good.
They got smoked.
They're not that good.
And don't act like I didn't say Lakers in 6. The Lakers are going to win
in 5.
I take that bet.
I was adamant they would win in 4. So it's not like I'm off to a good start here.
Yeah, they got smoked. AD was unbelievable last night. And the worst part about it, I mean, you knew AD was going to answer the bell, but what really did Portland in outside of they couldn't make any shots was KCP had like 16 points. When he's scoring, is a problem. Like KCP dropped 16. I turned it off about halfway through the third quarter because I always tell myself, like, when the team I'm rooting for is losing at halftime, if they're down 10 going into the third quarter, I'll stay up. If not, I'll go to bed. It kept getting worse and worse. And when it finally got to the ultimate worst part, I left the living room. Wife was still doing some work. I was like, going to bed. I was like, they need to put everybody on the bench and let all the young guys run out the rest of the third quarter and fourth quarter before somebody get hurt. And as soon as I get to the bedroom, your boy just broke his finger. I was like, who? Dame? I was like, great.
Damn it. Yeah, I even tweeted at you. What time is it? Game time. No, it's Dame time.
You about to get blocked on Twitter.
You get blocked. I'll get blocked.
You get blocked.
All right. Shaw
Speaking
says,
of Twitter, what's up with your other Twitter account?
I have no clue. That guy's left me alone. I blocked him on Facebook, and I usually don't block people, but you know what? I had no choice.
You forced me to do it.
By the way, so while we were away, I'm going back to this Facebook thing. I mean, I try to get off the Baker thing, but they're just bringing me back. I mean, my goodness. So I was trying to say, I mean, you kept bringing up these teams with the second-year quarterbacks, which, by the way, I'm adamant too that, yes, the expectations for quarterbacks coming into the league are you don't get like an entire, and again, we're going back to the NFL real quick, and we'll NBA stuff in a moment. I want to talk Obi Toppin here shortly as well. But the NFL with second-year quarterbacks. Now, again, this is why we've talked about the importance of the draft. Speaking of Obi, I've talked about that as well, is, hey, where you end up matters, and maybe, the earlier you go in the draft, sometimes that's not always a good thing because you're usually going to a pretty bad organization.
Yep.
And the NBA is different than the NFL. The NBA, the same teams are picking every single year, it seems. Like, the fact that the Warriors are in there is pretty interesting. But there's a reason. I mean, when we talk about the fact that the Pelicans were able to get Anthony Davis in less than a decade later, then they get Zion Williamson, the same teams are usually regularly there, right there at the top of the NBA draft ladder. The NFL, that's not always the case. That fluctuates quite often. But in the NFL, when you are being taken out, you're going to usually a very bad situation, unless injuries, of course, lead to that. I mean, when the Cowboys drafted Zeke Elliott, I think they took him 4th overall years ago. That was a situation where your quarterback was out, and of course, you were ravaged by injuries. They were a playoff team expected coming into the year. You had the best offensive line in football. You went out and got Dak Prescott and Zeke Elliott, and all of a sudden everything just clicked that year. So it worked out. But there's not a lot of good organizations that are picking at the top of the NFL draft. There's not a lot of teams who are picking their quarterback, drafting 1, 2, or 3 and are expected to be Super Bowl contenders 2 years later. If you talk about the quarterbacks that have gone on to have huge success in the NFL that have had breakout years in year 2, they're guys that have been drafted later in the draft. I mean, it's not like Patrick Mahomes dropped into the 20s, but he wasn't taken 1, 2, or 3.
Right.
Okay. So when you continue dropping in the NFL draft, you fall into usually a better situation. When you're sitting at that 8, 9, 10 range in the NFL, you're usually not that far off from being a playoff team. Like, let's be clear here. The Steelers are picking like 8th or something like that. I think they traded that away because they got Fitzpatrick.
But yeah, they would be right in the middle of the pack. I mean, the league is designed for you to go 8 and 8. Like, they want everybody to be so close together. Like, that's why it's so hard to pick a point spread in the NFL games. Like, there's so few games that are blowouts. Like, if an NFL game is a blowout, it's an anomaly. Most games are played within a touchdown of each other, no matter what the team is.
So, like, when we talk about those second-year expectations, to sit there last year, and again, by the way, the Browns, they put enough pieces around Baker where he deserved to have those second-season expectations. The Bengals have done enough to really put Burrow in a position to have first rookie season expectations when you have all those offensive weapons. I think that the old days of, you as a rookie quarterback, you have 4 years to develop. No, I'm not saying you have 1 year, but you have about 2 to 3. I mean, this is the make or break year for Baker Mayfield. It's year 3. So that's why I don't like when teams, they get their quarterback, like, they don't need to be aggressive in free agency. They got plenty of time. No, you got 3 years. And really, that's not that. It sounds like a long time, but it's not, because technically the season starts here in 3 weeks. And what you're going into the season with is what you're going to battle with for the year. And I don't see them making any big splash come trade deadline as far as that's concerned. But you look at the quarterbacks that have had success in year 2 or, right away. I mean, Russell Wilson, again, it's not like the Seahawks were a great team, but they had a solid defense and they had enough weapons that when he came in, he didn't have to be the guy. And he wasn't the guy. It was like Dak Prescott. Again, taken later in the draft. Dallas Cowboys, of course. But he wasn't the offense that year. That was Zeke Elliott and that offensive line and everyone, the run game and everything else. You look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was able to break out in year 2. Why? Because there wasn't that many holes to fill when you were the Ravens. Joe Flacco was just literally on a tug-of-war team. He's on your side, but he's like literally helping push the rope the other way. You look at Patrick Mahomes. Okay, yeah, year 2, breakout year. I mean, he's an MVP his first full year as a starter. But Patrick Mahomes was drafted by an NFL playoff team already. So that's why to sit there and have those expectations right away for these rookie quarterbacks, it just depends where they end up. There's a reason that Sam Darnold has yet to look like a franchise quarterback yet. Baker has not looked like a franchise quarterback yet. Joe Burrow's not going to look like a franchise quarterback for year 1 or 2. So it's just going to be one of those things. Now, it's the quarterbacks that are taken later, like Jordan Love, for instance. Mm-hmm. Like, let's say that Aaron Rodgers gets hurt early in the year and Jordan Love takes over for them. Jordan Love's going to be one of those quarterbacks that we can look at, and if Aaron Rodgers goes out early and he leads the Packers to the playoffs, we're going to be sitting there saying, oh, man, another rookie quarterback coming in dominating. Pay attention to where they go in the draft, because the later in the draft you go, the better situation you're going to find yourself in. And Joe Burrow did not find himself in a good situation. Baker was not in a good situation. So when you bring up guys like Lamar Jackson, it's not the similar comparison way. Other than the year 2 thing, it's not level playing field, especially when you're an Ohio pro sports team like the Browns and like the Bengals. They are their biggest opponent on the schedule every year. We're going to talk about, who are they playing in week 5? They're facing themselves. The Browns' biggest opponent every year is themselves. Are they going to beat themselves, or is the other team going to beat them? And it's usually always themselves. Like last year, the Browns were undefeated against themselves. Like, it was ridiculous. Even when they won, they lost. They beat the Steelers, they lost. That was like one of the most worst feeling wins in the world. Like, I couldn't believe that we weren't even able to enjoy the Browns beating the Steelers. Nice swing, Myles Garrett, by the way. So there's that. So I'm not going to let you rain on the Baker Mayfield parade.
Dan Marino.
Did you see that practice today? Dan Marino, what he had? He goes to a Super Bowl, his rookie year?
Second year.
So look what he had around him.
Okay. Who else? Let me think about it. Kaepernick. Second year, went to the Super Bowl.
Yep, that defense. I'm not a Kaepernick football player, because I'm not going there. I've already been called something on Twitter today. I ain't going there now. I was never a Kaepernick quarterback guy, to be honest. Like, as far as the talent is concerned. Now, who do he replaced? Alex Smith, right?
Mm-hmm. Alex Smith just set him up, don't he? He'll get you there, and then we'll get you over the top with somebody else.
I don't know, but that great Harbaugh, I'm telling you, that organization, the Ravens, that one that you're like, Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson goes to a good organization.
Who else?
Set up to succeed.
Who else was in that second year that balled out? I know somebody else did.
Yeah, Marino went to the Super Bowl as a rookie. That's
it was his rookie year?
Yeah.
Really? Mm-hmm. That was his second year.
First year. Greatness.
Wow. That's even crazier.
Ron, again, we're live on Facebook, by the way. So when we're reading these Facebook comments, they're coming into the comments section. We're pulling them into the show. So be a part of the show. Head to Facebook, search The Justin Kinner Show. Ron says, Kurt Warner, stocking shelves, comes in, MVP.
He don't count because he was already like 30.
What's wrong with being 30? I'm
just
30.
saying he was like 30.
30's your great year, man. 30's a great year.
Well, there's a difference between
what they say.
30 years old in your second year and 24 years old being in your second year.
Drew Brees. I don't know about year 2, Lamar, but team 2. Team 2 is pretty good.
That's for sure.
Oh, man. Shaw says, come on, Justin, there are excuses for everything. Okay, but yes, there are excuses, and then there's common sense. And what I'm bringing to the table here is common sense. Like, bad organizations are bad organizations. And there's a reason that when teams like the Bengals and teams like the Browns and teams like the Jets and everyone else drafts high or drafts at the top, there's a reason they don't continue to make it. It's not because those quarterbacks are bad. Like Joe Burrow's not bad, but we're going to find out just how bad the organization of the Bengals is. Because, the last 2 years working with Schlemmer, until further notice, they are the Cleveland Browns. Well, I'm going to say the same thing about the Cincinnati Bengals for the time being. And, by the way, if they go on to win and they do great things with Burrow, good for them. I'm happy for them. I'm jealous of the Cincinnati Bengals if that is the case, because I thought that the Browns were in good position to change that narrative. Big Ben says, Billy Wright says Big Ben. Yes, he had success early.
Indeed.
Yeah, again, Chargers did go to the playoffs, Lamar, yes, but of course with the injuries and everything, Drew Brees was his career was thought to be done as far as that's not done, but at least on the back shelf. David Shaw says, so Carson Palmer sucked. No, he just ran out of room for rings on his fingers. Oh, wait, he didn't even get one. What are we talking about? So I never said Carson Palmer sucked, but it's my point. Carson Palmer was good. But again, he wanted out of Cincinnati. Why? Because, hey, he goes to the front office. Hey, we're so close. Let's make this move. No, Mike Brown's cheap. They didn't want to do it. So Carson Palmer did not suck. People think he sucks now because all he does is talk smack about the Bengals, which that's why he's one of my favorites. Go Browns! We'll be back in a moment.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Not so long ago, lots of things made people happy.
I used to love going to the gym.
I miss saying good morning to my coworkers.
Today, there are still things that can make people happy.
Oh, how pretty.
A beautiful bouquet of flowers will definitely make someone happy.
First Florist and Greenhouses can help you make someone happy. Go to firsttheflorist.com, choose a bouquet, and they'll deliver it safely. Make someone happy with First Florist and Greenhouses.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
The great thing about facts, they're proven. Like the fact that crude oil contains impurities, or that base oil made from natural gas is 99.5% free of impurities, and the fact that Pennzoil is the first synthetic motor oil made from natural gas, not crude oil. It gives you unbeatable engine protection. The proof is in the Pennzoil. Based on Sequence 4A wear test using SAE 5W30. Ask for it at the Mopar Service Center at your local Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram dealership.
Fall is just around the corner. So are Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot, where you can save every day on everything, from mulch to power tools, new appliances to a fresh coat of paint. You can even shop and save right from the app and get convenient delivery right to your door. The only question is, what will you do next? Tackle more fall projects with Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last, valid through September 7th.
Indeed knows that for any business, your next step is the most important one, like hiring someone who can make a real impact. Indeed can help you find high-impact hires faster, without any long-term contracts, and you pay only for what you need, thanks to our super flexible payment options. So why not take that next step with Indeed? Get started with a free $75 credit for your first job post and get in front of more quality candidates. Go to Indeed.com/high impact. That's Indeed.com/high impact. Terms and conditions apply.
Milano's Pizza Subs and Taps now has patio, dining room, and bar seating available. Unwind with your favorite craft beers and cocktails. We have a brand new summer menu for you to explore. Milano's Pizza Subs and Taps, a Dayton tradition.
It's the summer clearance event at Key Chrysler. I'm Chris Toby. At Key, our primary focus is your safety and ours. We are practicing safe social distancing. Probably like you, we hate it, but we are wearing our masks, and we are diligently cleaning the dealership. If you're more comfortable handling your sales and service needs from home, we can help you. Visit TobyAuto.com, where you can complete all the aspects of a vehicle purchase, including financing and trade appraisals, schedule service, or simply get a question answered. Most importantly, stay safe out there. We will get through this together.
Don't put it off any longer. You know it's time for a bathroom upgrade by Bath Creations. Bath Creations, serving the greater Dayton and Cincinnati area, is a leader in bathroom renovations, providing the best value in bath and shower remodeling, and proudly made in the USA. With Bath Creations, you get a beautiful modern bathroom that is safe, comfortable, and affordable. Attention first responders, veterans, and active military. Save $500 off your purchase. Visit on Poe Avenue in Dayton or online at mybathcreations.com and upgrade today.
Napa know-how.
This month, Napa's got all kinds of motor oil deals that can save you some serious cash. Like a 5-quart jug of Napa full synthetic motor oil for just $16.49. With savings like that, you may start feeling like a VIP. But don't let it go to your head. These oil deals are for everyone. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
General states pricing. Sales prices not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. Offer ends 8/31/20.
Oh, my stomach.
Don't worry, I've got you covered.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
What's that?
It's Pepto-Bismol Chews.
Pepto-Bismol's now in a chew?
Yeah, they taste great and provide fast relief. And now you can always have Pepto-Bismol handy.
Let me try it.
Try new Pepto-Bismol Chews for fast relief.
Nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
It's the summer clearance event at New Carlisle Chrysler. I'm Chris Toby. At New Carlisle, our primary focus is your safety and ours. We are practicing safe social distancing. Probably like you, we hate it, but we are wearing our masks, and we are diligently cleaning the dealership. If you're more comfortable handling your sales and service needs from home, we can help you. Visit TobyAuto.com, where you can complete all aspects of a vehicle purchase, including financing and trade appraisals, schedule service, or simply get a question answered. Most importantly, stay safe out there. We will get through this together.
The Lowe's for Pros loyalty program gives pros personalized offers, purchase tracking, and more. Sign up at lowesforpros.com/pro-loyalty. Terms and conditions apply. U.S. only.
All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio. All sports, all the time. This is 1410 ESPN Radio. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Back to the famous WING studios. Here's Justin Kinner and Kev Nash.
Coming up here now at 5 o'clock. We went from 4 to 4:30, now at 5 o'clock. Monday. I promise you, Herm Edwards. Yeah, next year, the first Monday of next year. Herm Edwards, Arizona State head football coach. We'll talk with him coming up, him and Keith Byers, about the state of college football right now. Again, no Pac-12 football this fall, no Big Ten football this fall. We're going to talk about that with Herm Edwards. Keep in mind, Herm Edwards and Keith Byers both crossed paths in the NFL. In fact, Herm Edwards was deep into his NFL career when Keith Byers was drafted by the Eagles and was a rookie with the Eagles. In fact, they were roommates at the very beginning. So he that was his veteran that he had to follow around and basically kind of learn the ropes from and everything. So interesting conversation coming up with both of them, Keith Byers, Herm Edwards, coming up here in just over 10 minutes. So I made the mistake of bringing up Baker Mayfield. You bring up Baker Mayfield and boom. Now, earlier today, I don't know if you even saw it, but I guess like the big reaction today at the Bengals scrimmage today, Joe Burrow looked good. And that is good. And he got a lot of time with the first teamers, him and T. Higgins connected, and those guys. So I'm excited about what the Bengals are going to be able to look like offensively. I'm still worried about the defense. That offensive line, I love the people on there. Oh, the offensive line looked good. The offensive line, are you kidding me? The defensive line has been instructed to, hey, you know how bad you guys look in regular season games? Yeah, I need you guys to bring it back a notch from that even. So, of course, Joe Burrow wasn't going to be pressured in the scrimmage against his own team today. But I guess he was chased out to the sideline, and instead of sliding or whatever, he ended up diving for the first down and then ended up flipping over some kind of table that had the water cooler and everything on it. I'm like, you got to be that's dumb. That's dumb. Baker Mayfield would never do something like that. So somehow we got into talking about, quarterbacks who have had instant success right away. And the pattern that we're starting to notice is the rookie quarterbacks who have come in and had instant success, all of them do it for great organizations. Rookies don't come in and have great success for bad organizations. And by the way, sometimes you could speed up that, progression a little bit if teams, Kev, are already are a playoff team or have weapons. Like, let's be honest, the Browns are a bad organization even 2 years ago. I mean, they went 0-16. They were able to, they go out and get Jarvis Landry. They were able to add a couple key pieces on the offensive defensive side. They get their quarterback in Baker Mayfield, obviously, and they were much improved. But again, all the chaos that was going on. You had Hugh Jackson at the beginning, and then, everything going on with the offensive coordinator from the Steelers. Of course, thanks for that, by the way. See, that was even a plan from the Steelers to ruin the Browns season to get in their way. But the bottom line, the Browns just always chaos. So, Baker Mayfield in his first year and a half, 2 years, has had 3 head coaches. Mm-hmm. 3 head coaches. Now he's on coach number 4. That's pretty impressive. So that's called a bad organization. The Browns are a bad organization. So I'm not making
the top to the bottom.
So when Shaw on Facebook says everyone has excuses, I already lost the comment here on Facebook, but you're right. Everyone does have excuses, but sometimes that is the reality of the situation. I mean, hell, there's excuses with the New England Patriots. Well, Tom Brady only had success because he's a system quarterback. Okay, well, that's an excuse too. But the bottom line is, if you're accused of being a system guy and it still leads to wins and Super Bowls, you know what? I hope Baker Mayfield's a system quarterback guy. They just need someone with the brain that's able to implement some kind of system that they can follow. Freddie Kitchens, Banjo Boy? No, he wasn't it. He wasn't it, as far as that's concerned. So Carson Palmer, Shaw says, so Carson Palmer sucked. No, I never said he sucked. He was actually pretty good. But again, Carson Palmer, as good as he was for the Bengals, wasn't able to get over the Bengals hump. That's why he wanted out. Shaw says, my point is Palmer had the crappy Bengals organization on the brink of a long playoff run. Again, Kilmo happened. So there's that.
Yeah.
You brought that up too.
Yeah.
Now we know that. But again, there was issues that were stemming even to that that offseason heading into that season that they were going to go on. Bad organizations lose with good teams. Bottom line. And that's what the Bengals are. They're a bad organization. The Browns, bad organization. And basically, I have no clue which of these two franchises is going to make the playoff next. The Browns should, but my goodness, it wouldn't surprise me at all if all of a sudden in year 2, if the Browns screw up this year, next year, all of a sudden the Bengals hit the ground running. It would not surprise me at all. They got to address that defense, though. But Mike Brown just spent $150 million. I don't think that dude's going to do that in back-to-back seasons. I don't think he's going to open up that checkbook back-to-back off seasons. So I think what you have with this team is what you have and whatever you add in next year's draft as well. I don't see another big spending spree coming from Mike Brown and company.
So you're on record saying the Browns are going to go 12-4.
Yes.
What if they go 9-7 and miss the playoffs?
Then they miss the playoffs. What do you mean?
What should they do?
I mean, that they're just not going to pay Baker at that point. I mean, that's why they already worked out the long-term extension with Myles Garrett. He was like the highest paid pass rusher in the league for what, like maybe a few months, of course, before the Chiefs stepped into that situation. I mean, look, the Browns, when we say playoff or bust, in my head, they're playoff or bust, but I don't know what the bust means. Okay, bust as in, that's it, we're cleaning house. They're not cleaning house. They have way too much talent. I do not think that if you have Kareem Hunt, you can get Kareem Hunt for cheaper than Chubb. I don't think they're going to pay Chubb, and they're not going to give Baker his extension as far as that. They'll just keep optioning him out. If the Cowboys are doing that with Dak Prescott, there's nothing keeping from the Browns doing that with Baker Mayfield. The difference is Dak's been winning with the Dallas Cowboys, which has warranted the conversation of, or the Cowboys, are they wrong for doing this? No one's going to say the Browns are wrong if they continue to option Baker Mayfield as far as that's concerned, and you won't even hear a peep from me. If Baker can't have success this year and get this team to the playoffs, you won't hear a peep from me about, the Browns need to pay him. No, I won't at all. And Case Keenum, by the way, I don't think Case Keenum is the answer. So stop. People keep bringing up Case Keenum. No, Case Keenum, no.
Who, the Ron?
The Ron, yeah.
Shouts out to Ron, man.
The Ron. So there's that. Ron. But September 10th is the first NFL game. It's 3 weeks from yesterday. And that's going to be, of course, the defending Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs and the Texans. And we're all looking forward to that as far as that's concerned. But I can't believe, and by the way, 457-9464. Kevin said no to the preseason games. I miss the preseason games right now. I only miss it because we don't have it, and it's been a horrible year, and I just need football right now. So, yes, I miss the preseason. We are live on Facebook. Go to Facebook and comment. Do you miss preseason football? The fact that we are having to talk about Twitter reports of a scrimmage because teams can't have preseason games, I don't trust Bengals Twitter anyways. Reporters, all media now is like fans. Like, the media for the Dayton Flyers, they're all fans. The media for Ohio State, they're all fans. The media for the Browns and Bengals, no one criticizes teams anymore, tries to, critique the team. It's, oh my goodness, did you see what they did? They have dunk counters and they don't even talk. I mean, it's always just they're cheerleaders. The media is just cheerleaders for the teams now. So I don't care about, of course, if you just base it on reports on Twitter about the teams, of course, all the teams look like they're well on their way to winning a Super Bowl. I miss the preseason games. I want to watch the preseason games, Kevin, and I can't believe you're sitting there saying, no, you would rather have no football than preseason football right now.
Yes, I hate preseason. Preseason is a waste of time.
Well, that's funny. Steve Stetler, preseason waste of time on Facebook.
Waste of my.
You guys are adorable.
Not a waste of their time, just a waste of my time. I have no use for it. I have no use for preseason football. I have no use for the Pro Bowl. I have no use for none of that.
Well,
zero use.
But there's more use to the there's more value in the preseason than the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl, I agree with you, is a waste of time.
I have no use for the NFL Combine. We have people that work
Underwear
in the
Olympics.
Yeah, we have people that work in our building who sit at their computer watching the NFL Combine.
Yeah, that ain't me.
I'm good. I got a lot better things to do.
For one, every year. So when it comes to preseason, I look forward to the first preseason game. I love that first preseason game because you've been for so long without football, and all you've been able to go by is the highlights of whoever the Browns drafted. Because God knows that's all we ever taught. I would love to know what it's like being a fan of an actual good team that they're not relying on rookie film to be, or senior year at college film to get you excited about what they could bring to the pros. But no, I always look forward to that first preseason game. I look forward to that first drive with the starters, and then I still stick around to watch, the second guy, the second string guys and stuff. But after that, week 2, week 3, then it gets a little overkill, and then I'm over it. And then that week 4 one, I'm like, I'm not even watching it. All I'm focused on is what's coming up ahead as far as that's concerned. Paul, think how women love the fact that there's no preseason. Paul, never mind, not going there. But no, I like the preseason.
Paulie.
I like the preseason. You're not a fan of it. Steve on Facebook says it's a waste of time as far as that's concerned. Ron says no Browns, still the Browns. So there you go. Yeah, I'm one that I'm all for the preseason this year. I hate that there's no preseason this year. I hate that we have to read scrimmage, Twitter updates just to get a feel for what's going on with our teams. I would love to be watching Joe Burrow in an NFL preseason game. I can't believe you would settle for that. No preseason? No football's better than no preseason, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hard Knocks. I watch Hard Knocks.
Mike on Facebook says, I bet preseason football games would have higher TV ratings than NBA playoffs right now. Normally, I'd argue with you, Mike, but I thought I read the other day, aren't NBA playoff ratings through the roof? I read the other day that they were in the tank. They should be through the roof. I don't know. Mike, I don't know. By the way, I disagree, Mike. Especially when the Lakers are beating Dame time. Hour 3 next, Herm Edwards, Arizona State head football coach. We'll talk with him about the Pac-12, the Big Ten, pulling the plug in the fall season. Herm Edwards joins us next.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Total Wine & More is pleased to announce Points with a Purpose, our way of saying thanks by investing in the communities we serve. Now through September 13th, collect 5 times points on thousands of wines and spirits. For every point earned, a matching donation will be made to local charities, up to $2 million in total. A point for you is a point for your community. That's Points with a Purpose. Come shop with us today or visit TotalWine.com. See website for details.
Fall is just around the corner. So are Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot, where you can save every day on everything, from mulch to power tools, new appliances to a fresh coat of paint. You can even shop and save right from the app and get convenient delivery right to your door. The only question is, what will you do next? Tackle more fall projects with Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only while supplies last, valid through September 7th.
Capital One checking and savings accounts have no fees or minimums, and a top-rated banking app that lets you manage your money anytime, anywhere, even from your favorite hiking trail. With Capital One's app, you can check your balance, deposit checks, pay bills, and transfer money from wherever you are, anytime you want, even when you're cooking dinner. Open a fee-free checking or savings account online in about 5 minutes. This is banking reimagined. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Consumer accounts only. Approval required. Terms apply. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Hey, it's time for some straight talk. You know what a full court press is in basketball, right? Full defensive coverage with no holes. Well, that's the kind of coverage you get with Straight Talk Wireless. It runs on America's best networks, same as big carriers, but for a lot less. Just $45 a month gets you the unlimited plan with 25 gigs of high-speed data and 2G for up to 50% less than the big carriers. No contract. Full court coverage, 50% less. Straight Talk Wireless. No contract, no compromise. Savings may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
It's a new season, and it's Sport Clips haircuts. All of our stylists are clean certified and guy smart. So come in and get yourself back in the game with our legendary MVP experience. It's a mancation with our hot steam towel, relaxing shampoo, and a winning cut. Check in online and walk out with confidence. Sport Clips. It's good to be a guy.
And you be stepping out like a pro.
As you get back to business, small things can make a big difference, like marking safe distances with floor tape and posting reminders to wash hands. As always, Grainger is here to help, offering supplies and solutions for every industry. Free access to product specialists, 24/7 support, safety recovery guides, and more. It's part of our commitment to help you adapt and recover in these challenging times. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, you. Liberty Mutual customizes your home insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
The Reds are on the radio. Every hit, every strikeout, every home run.
It is gone into the second deck and left. A 2-run home run by Eugenio Suarez.
Cincinnati Reds baseball. Catch every game right here on Dayton's home of the Reds, 1410 ESPN Radio. College football playoffs, Browns, Bengals, Buckeyes, and more. Catch the Keith Byers Show Mondays at noon on 1410 ESPN Radio. WING 1410 Dayton. Dayton's ESPN Radio. It's the Justin Kinner Show, live here on ESPN Dayton, 1410 Wing AM. Tweet the show at 1410 Kinner or give us a call at 457-9464. We now send you to the Wing Studios in Kettering. Here's your host, Justin Kinner.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash, back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Listen, stream, watch. There's multiple ways you can take in the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash daily here on ESPN Dayton. Of course, you can listen on 1410 Wing AM. You could stream at wingam.com. And, of course, you could watch us live on Facebook. Search the Justin Kinner Show on Facebook and hang out with us weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 p.m. So, no, of course, the article I was talking about the NBA ratings being down, Kev, it was a headline, of course, not getting political, but the president had said the president had made a comment about the NBA ratings are horrible. Of course, he always says that. If he doesn't like something, it's, oh, well, I mean, look at the ratings are horrible, blah, blah. Well, no, he was wrong. That the NBA ratings are actually up. They're up 16%, they're up 6% from last year to year, which I don't get how you do year-to-year ratings comparisons when there's never been NBA playoff basketball played in August. So right. I don't really know what that means. Point is I expected the ratings to be higher. I just think that the NBA ratings were sky high when it first came back initially. And then it fizzled out because fans realized, okay, these 8-game regular seasons, look, the reason that the Lakers kind of started out slow too is because they had, I think 3 games in, they wrapped up the Western Conference, and then you had LeBron missing some games and sitting out games. They were resting, but they weren't there to take it serious. Right. And now that's why when they got punched in the mouth, I think that loss to the Trailblazers was good because kind of punched them in the mouth a little bit and said, okay, I think we were on cruise control to start. We were just happy to be back in the bubble, but now we really need to hit the ground running. And I think that loss to the Trailblazers was actually a good thing because LeBron and company has just been locked in. LeBron didn't have a great game last night, but let's be clear, he didn't have to.
AD doing that.
No, and everyone else. And you talked about Caldwell Pope and those guys, so we'll see. I love the NBA playoffs right now, though, because it's every other night. So no Lakers tonight. Watch the Lakers tomorrow. What teams? I'm a big NBA fan, but right now I'm only watching the Lakers. I think that's a problem for the NBA too, because I'm a big NBA fan. I'm only watching and again, not Justin Kidder, but for me, I'm only watching the Lakers, and there's stars all over the league. But was the problem back when MJ was in. There were stars all over the league too, but there was no must-watch stars back then. MJ was that must-watch star, and then Kobe and Shaq became that must-watch tandem with the Lakers, and then of course, then it started changing. Even Allen Iverson and Tracy McGrady and those guys, Vince Carter, they were never like must-watch guys. They added a little bit of fuel to it. But after MJ, LeBron was that next big draw. It was Magic, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan into LeBron James. Maybe it's Zion Williams, but I don't know who that next draw is. So many good players in the NBA, but none of them are draws. Giannis Antetokounmpo is not a draw. Right. That's why they have him. That's why they have the Bucks tipping off at 1:00 almost every single day. And you would think that they would have them in prime, or at least the second to last game. So that's all. As far as
the NBA does have a problem where, in years past when LeBron was with the Cavs, then the Heat, and then back with the Cavs, those games were 7:00 and 8:00. So they're great lead-in games to whoever the Lakers or the Mavericks are playing, because you'll stay up at least till halftime, and then if Kobe Bryant's on a rampage, you're going to stay up all the way until midnight. Or if Dirk Nowitzki's out here dropping 8-9 threes, you're going to stay up and watch. So now that the there's really no lead-in guy from the Eastern Conference for those 7:00, 8:00 games. Maybe that guy can be Giannis. Maybe that guy can be maybe the Celtics can be that lead-in for the Western Conference games. But like from on the East Coast, man, like we talked about this the other day, man, like it's a struggle to stay up until midnight. Like for those 9 and 10 o'clock games, like we have to work in the morning. We're not quote unquote spring chickens anymore. So we force ourselves to stay up to watch these games on the West Coast, especially if it's the Lakers, because LeBron is such a hot item, and he's such a great basketball player. He's no
Dame Lillard, but
Dame time. And I always watch, who was it? Dallas and the Clippers. I made it all the way to the fourth quarter last game and I fell asleep.
Luka
getting busy.
He's only 21 years old. But I heard that too. I was like, man, he's only 21.
And that's part of the problem. Like he's been playing professional. Well, it's not a problem, but he's been playing professional basketball since he was like 16. That's why the G League in the NBA, like they're trying to work some stuff out. Like, they're playing as professionals so much earlier than our kids are. So we have to do something. And that's why the G League is finally starting to explode and finally starting to get guys that potentially would go to college. Instead of going to college, you're going straight to the G League.
Mike on Facebook, again, live on Facebook. So make sure you head there follow the Justin Kidder Show and comment in the comment section. Mike says Miami Heat to the finals. I don't know about that. This ain't LeBron's Heat. Ain't even Alonzo Mourning's Heat.
You don't like the Heat?
No. I like that. The kid from Kentucky, the Hero kid.
They got Bam.
I like the kid from Oakland out of the Horizon League, Kendrick
Nunn. Beast.
Yep.
Beast.
And that the NBA always fascinates me when you get situations like that, because the NBA, the stars in the Power 5 college, the Power 5 schools, the Zions, those guys, you follow them. But then there's guys like Kendrick Nunn who, he was really, really good in the Horizon League, but you never looked at him and said, oh, man, he's going to go from the Horizon League to just dominating the NBA, and that kid can score with the best of them. And I'm like, but you would think common sense would tell you, if you just plucked that guy out of the NBA and dropped him in the Horizon League, you think that he would just literally just be above and beyond just what a good player is in that conference. He was really good in the Horizon League, but I never looked at him as to the likes of what we've seen from some of the time. I mean, even going back to like when Norris Cole just played and looked different. Like you could just tell, like, man, his team screwed up by not getting him. None was good, but I mean, it was like I didn't look at him and say, oh man, like that's an NBA talent right there. And then you see what he's doing in the NBA right now. It's unreal.
I read this article about college basketball being overcoached. They don't allow the natural talent of their players to take over. Like they want to call timeouts every time there's a last second shot. They want to call every single play. They want to do all these things to control the player because an individual player may be able to handle it, but the other four guys on the court can't. So it's kind of like you put the handcuffs on one guy because the other guys can't. And I think that is true. I think college coaches have like that complex about making sure everything is done the right way. You know, sometimes you got to make sure you do your right job and coach them up in practice and let them and roll the ball out there and hope they execute.
So I disagree. I mean, look, there's a lot of teams like Oakland is a team. By the way, Oakland lets their players do that. And that's why they don't play good team basketball. That's why they never win tournaments. The teams that win those conference tournaments are the best teams, like the teams that play good team basketball. You don't see a lot of teams led by one single star leading the way in those smaller conferences or whatever. Like, I agree with what you're saying, but like there's guys that you could have let play like that in the Horizon League. You think you get guys like that all the time. But again, they crunch them in and play that system basketball. Right. There's a lot of times you'll hear them say, oh man, if you just let them play a little bit, let them play. But that's not a Horizon League. That's pretty much everywhere. That's everywhere, like you're saying with college. And, of course, it loosens up a little at some of the Power 5 schools. Like Zion, you're going to let Zion be Zion. But there's even guys like at Kentucky. It's hard for the casual fan to get a good feel for the talent at Kentucky because, I mean, everyone's kind of drowning out one another. But then they get to the NBA and you're like, oh, damn, like, you know, because they're getting more of that isolation. Yeah,
Devin Booker's never started a game in Kentucky.
And I think he's doing okay.
Yeah.
That's who the Warriors should trade that pick for. Or no, the Timberwolves. I'm sorry. If I'm the Timberwolves, I'd trade that. Go get Devin Booker.
Not bad.
Booker!
Not bad. I wouldn't trade it if I'm the Suns. I'd be like, I'm good.
The Suns ain't going anywhere with them anyways.
He's going to max you out.
I mean, DeAndre Ayton, he got paid more in college than what he's getting paid now. Anyways.
You're not buying their 8-0 run in the bubble?
I mean, no. The bubble thing, by the way, the bubble MVP, if I hear that one more time, that's the dumbest thing. For one, the bubble MVP, again, not Devin Booker, obviously, that was your man, Dame time. Okay, you were the only one playing for something. I mean,
no, that's not true.
If LeBron would have been more locked in at the Lakers,
didn't play the Lakers
for something. I know, but I'm just saying, like, there was so many teams that weren't playing for really anything other than just to get the legs loose.
But no, the way they made the schedules, they played accordingly. Like they played teams that were vitally for position in the playoffs, and they played Memphis, who was in the 8th spot. They played who else did they play? They played the Clippers. They played the Nets. All these teams were violent for position. And if a dude drops 61 points and then comes back and drops 50 points the next game, and then 40 the next game, I mean, it's pretty evident that he's going to get the MVP. I mean, there's pretty cut and dry.
I thought it was dumb. The bubble MVP. No. How about Giannis, the real MVP? LeBron's technically the real MVP, but he ain't getting the MVP. It's going to go to Giannis. Antetokounmpo because he's.
I don't even remember what happened in the real regular season, to be perfectly honest.
All right, 457-9464. We're talking NFL preseason a little bit ago. I missed the NFL preseason. I wish we were watching preseason right now because I will take that over no football. I mean, I don't like the preseason. I think they should shorten it. I really think that preseason should be preseason game, off weekend, preseason game, off weekend, week 1. That would be the most ideal thing right there. But I'm not a fan of no preseason football. I'd still like to watch some. I mean, if you're a big fan of college football, you're still watching a lot of guys you're familiar with from college. But speaking of college, Herm Edwards, head coach for Arizona State, he was our guest a little bit ago on 1410 Wing Live. Keith Byers jumped in on the conversation with us because, of course, they were roommates. They were teammates, with the Philadelphia Eagles, and Byers looked up to Herm Edwards when he was with the Eagles. And Herm Edwards, now the head coach at Arizona State. So we talked about his time, obviously playing with Keith Byers on the Eagles, as well as the comparison of the Pac-12's reaction to the plug being pulled on the 2020 fall season for the Pac-12 compared to that of the Big Ten. All parents are fine in the Pac-12. All parents in the Big Ten, well, they've stormed the headquarters, I guess. So anyways, here's our conversation with Herm Edwards. He answers a lot of the questions about the cancellation, or at least the postponement to the fall season. Maybe.
We have two guests today at the same time. We're going to, of course, bring on a face you're familiar with, College Football Hall of Famer. Now we could say that College Football Hall of Famer Keith Byers, and a former NFL teammate of his, as well as head coach at Arizona State. Right now we got Coach Herm Edwards with us. Guys, welcome in. How are you today?
I am doing well. Good to be here as well also.
Now, Coach Edwards, I'm sure you're getting a lot of the same questions about the Pac-12 and the Big Ten and the postponement. We'll get into all that boring stuff in a moment, but you two played together at the Eagles, and I'm always hearing different, stories and memories of you two. So Keith, I'm going to let you kind of open up here as we hit the ground running.
Well, I was wet behind the nose, right behind the ear rookie when I came in. And, being there with Herm Edwards, I was like, that's the Miracle in the Meadowlands guy. Man, I know who the Herman is. But I wanted to learn, I probably told you in the past, though, Herman, but we only played a short time together in Philadelphia before you went on to Kansas City. But I learned so much from you being, like I said, wet behind the ear rookie. And I said, I need to learn from vets. And even though we played different positions, whether you was in the training table, in the sitting around in practice getting something to eat, or sitting around in the dorms, I was always trying to be that third ear, listening to you and Ronell Young and a whole lot of other veterans. I'm like, you guys, you've been in the league, I think at that time, like 10 or 12 years. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to be you guys one of these days. And so I just was trying to be like hopefully a lot of these rookies are today, and even incoming freshmen, because you're in college now. Learn from people who've been there before and have done it. And do you still try to, portray those messages and all the other stuff of your life that you've been in? Keith, I do, and it's a good segue into the fact that everything I've learned my whole life, along with all of us on the screen, we've actually learned from somebody else. No coach in the history of coaching any sport has ever given a player talent. No one gave Keith talent. God gave him his talent. Now, what you're able to understand is when you're well aware of that, and you have to be a seeker of knowledge. You have to be an information gatherer. And Keith was that. He was that guy. And being in the league that long, when I played, you could tell there were some rookies, they couldn't figure that out. They just couldn't figure it out, and they struggled. And once they figure that out, they can find their way. It's not about their talent. They're talented enough. It's just how you go about, when we always say, be a pro. Well, what is a pro? Besides putting the helmet on and running into the stadium, there's all these other things you have to do to be a pro. This is professional football. This is not a hobby. This is your life's work. And what are you willing to do to be the best professional you can be? That's critical. And I think some guys don't realize that. They worry about their brand. They worry about this and that. I always tell them, all that stuff sells when you're a good football player. Invest your time in football, because the thing we do know about football, the one thing we do know about football, it is not a career. It's an opportunity. It can end on one play. Keith has seen it. I've seen it. I've seen guys come in training camp, get a knee, career over. Yep. So it's not a career, it's an opportunity. And what you do with that opportunity, that little window you have, is very important. Yeah, I totally agree with you, because when I heard you was coming back to college, I'm like, Arizona State don't know what they're getting. They're getting more than a football coach. They're getting a life coach and going to give you lessons that's going to last a lifetime. And, I learned, I used to copy, knowledge. The thing of this, when you was in Philadelphia, everybody, coming out in practice looking a certain way. You had that long beach towel at practice. You were something with a smile. And I'm like, you're right. And I used to wear that same towel. I don't want a little 6-inch towel. Give me a whole body towel. Because I put in work. I need to be wiping off my sweat. Because that's what a pro does. So if it works for you, I'll make it work for me. And I had other guys follow me throughout the years, and they don't even know I got that from you. I'm like, no, I don't do this time. That's what game day. But practice day is you put in the work. And I learned that from you. I do, and you make a great point in the fact that at the end, it's about this. Is whatever we do in life, when we first experience our first opportunity, whether it's in television, radio, being an NFL football player, you need to find a mentor to kind of show you the ropes. Because as much as you're confident and all that, really you have this anxiety in you because you really don't know. But a person being a mentor is important. And I always say this, look, it's not so much what you give or what you take from football. What will you give back?
to the players and the coaches that follow you. That's part of the deal. That's part of being a pro. That's part of being a college athlete, student athlete. How are you making it better for the guys that follow you? Because there's going to be guys that follow you. You want to make the game better.
Right, because everybody's career comes with an expiration date. You just don't know when it's going to be always, but it's coming with an expiration date.
That is true.
All right, we got Arizona State head football coach Herm Edwards with us here on the Justin Kinner Show. Justin Kinner, Keith Byers, Herm Edwards with you here this afternoon. And Coach Edwards, this is one of the most interesting times right now in all of sports. And you have a very unique position right now as a head football coach in college. 2 Power 5 conferences, of course, have postponed the upcoming football season, the Big Ten and Pac-12. With you being a head coach within the Pac-12, just your thoughts on how, when this process started of kind of wondering where the conference was going to go with this, to when you officially heard the final decision of they're going to postpone until the spring, just your general reaction to everything along the way.
Well, no, I was not naive walking into this. We knew that the doctors, the medical professionals were going to lead us. No head coach was going to lead us through this. No president, no AD. It was always left up to the doctors. And I think if you understood that walking in, this is the first time, like, coach, you want to be in charge, right? You want in charge of this one now. They were going to make the game plan out, and you were going to follow it. I mean, follow it to the T. Because if you didn't, you're going to find yourself in a bad way. So with all that being said, I think as more information came out, and some of the teams were in different situations, some of the teams in California were a little bit different than Arizona, Washington, and I think they drew the conclusion that safety for players, coaches, for all involved, was not in a place where they felt they could get a season in. So we postponed at this point, and we're looking to try to play in the spring, obviously, like other teams are as well.
Now, when you say play in the spring, I know it's not, that nothing was definite, but when does that start? Is that February, January, or April?
Keith, you make a good point. I would think if they would try to do that, because all of a sudden you have the draft coming up. And the draft's not going to change. You have the combine coming up. I think if you try to do that, you're talking in January, maybe February, and you could now. I don't think you can play a whole season. I don't think that at all. I think if you were in the Pac-12, one of the things that I brought up was maybe you just play in your conference. You play the 5 games in the North, and the other teams plays the 5 games in the South, and then they have a conference championship, which is 6 games. Now you're talking 6 games, along with next season playing 12 games. Well, that's 18 games. Well, LSU played 17 games last year in one season. Right. So I think if you get over that amount of games, you're going to put the players in a position where, injury could occur, and you don't want to do that to any football player. Yeah, that being said,
also.
Right. So with that being said, too, think about this way. You know this because you went to the combine. Now, if players, they would be eligible to go to the combine, they wouldn't have to work out because they just had a season. They would have to go get physicals and do the interviews. And so everything would kind of stay intact that way. Now, that's just me talking. I don't get to make the decision. I don't even want to try to make the decision. But that's something that came to mind when I thought about it.
Yeah, also was on my mind, what are we playing for? There's no bowl game at the end of those 6, 8, or 9 games, or however many they deem to play. And we still got to get ready for the upcoming next season. Yeah. Why are we playing?
Well, I think this, for you would crown for us a Pac-12 champion. Also this, Keith, if seniors did not want to come back, let's just say they weren't going to be a high-round pick. They were, maybe going to be a 4th-round pick or 3rd-round pick. Playing 6 games allows you to get more tape. That helps them. It also allows them to decide this. If they play those 6 games and they don't like it, they can actually come back. So they're kind of in a win-win situation because all these kids, the seniors, they get a free year. They can come back regardless of how many games you play. So that's a good option for them. Now, some guys, like you say, Keith, they'll say, you know what, I'm not going to play. We know that anyway. You go to some bowl games, guys, and they're seniors. We've had 2 bowl game experiences already, and 4 players didn't go. I mean, N'Keal Henry was drafted in the 1st round. He didn't play. Brandon Ayuk this year got drafted in the 1st round. He didn't play in a bowl game. So I understand that. There's always going to be some players that opt out.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess you kind of answered my next question, would be the eligibility. as far as your recruiting, you're trying to choose a college. Well, is that guy going to be gone? The reason why I want to come there, or do I get to hang on to my freshman eligibility another year?
Right. I think it's just for the seniors. The 25 to 85 count won't matter. I mean, they won't count those guys in the 85 that they like to come back. I believe this. And Keith, you know this. Wherever you go, there's going to be competition. Yeah. And if you're looking at the roster and going, well, this guy and that guy's going to be going, that's probably the wrong place to be going, because. The number one thing about recruiting, and I think all players know this, and we make emphasis of it, every year we're trying to out-recruit the class we just brought in. It's pro football, Keith. That's a good point. It's pro football. Every year there's a common draft. And those guys who sit in the locker room, the pro players say, I'm not watching the draft. Yeah, they are when they pick the guys for position.
Exactly. I've been going back to Ohio State. The running back coach tell you, I'm looking for your replacement. I just got here. I'm already looking for the next guy.
That works. Competition.
Yep.
Coach, it's interesting right now in Chicago or in Illinois, a lot of upset Big Ten parents are demanding answers from Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren. I'm curious, what is it like in the Pac-12 and with the parents of your players right now? Is there a similar reaction in the Pac-12 to the Big Ten, where there's a lot of uneasiness right now and not a lot of questions answered? What's it like for your program right now in the Pac-12 compared to the Big Ten?
I haven't had any calls from any parent thus far. Not saying I might not get one or two, but I think most of the parents, I haven't had any issues with any of them talking about wanting to play. Look, everybody wants to play. I want to coach. Players want to play. We're not like we don't want to play, but it's not our call. It's not just, it's like all the fans, when you go to the stadium, they want to be the coach. They're not the coach. I'm not the coach here. The doctors are. The doctors, there's some people above me and above all the players. They're called the CEOs, they're called the presidents, and they're called ADs. They collectively came together in our conference, and it was 12-0. It wasn't like 6-6. It was 12-0 to postpone. So when that's said, I'm a team player, and guess what? That's what we're going to do. And now I'm getting my players ready for whenever we decide to come back, we're going to be prepared to come back. And that's all you can do.
What's your day-to-day?
All season right now, so they're lifting weights and
running.
Program.
They're doing all that stuff. We're actually having a draft today. We got a big draft going right now. Bad game.
I want to play at Arizona State right now. I mean,
team's going to play, man. That in the Call of Duty. So we're going right now.
Coach, last thing here from me, at least, as far as recruiting, how much is this not hurting recruiting, because everyone's experiencing this in some way or another? But what are some things you and your staff has had to do to be able to adapt to recruiting and contact and those types of things?
Well, they're visiting us visually now. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about inviting parents and their sons to tour our campus, to be with the coaches, to meet our staff visually. Okay, and for us, we've done a pretty good job of recruiting. To be quite honest, we're getting some guys from all over the country, and we have a lot of guys committed right now. So it's gone good for us thus far. And I think it's the way it works. You adjust. It's like in football, I always say this in football. There's always a plan, but a plan that can't be changed is a bad plan.
That's true.
You got to change the plan now. How you go about it? But everybody's in the same boat. Everybody's got to recruit the same way.
Well, Coach, I'm curious, because when you talk about that, it's one thing, and I heard about Keith Byers when he got recruited to Arizona State, they took him horseback riding. I'm trying to picture Keith on a horse. You can't do that virtually, so that's where I'm at with this right now.
Yeah, it's been interesting, but I think a lot of young people were like, and young people want to take visits too. That's part of the process. They want to see your campus. So everyone's going to have to adjust right now. A lot of high schools in certain areas have been canceled as well. So we're all dealing with this.
I'm good. Hey, Herman, if you ever need me, I'm a phone call away. And next time I'm in Phoenix, I'm definitely got to swing by the campus.
Come on.
Yeah, give me a Seth off the golf course. Steph Joyner. I can always stop over.
Okay. I'm going to get you a Seth over here. You guys are always invited. You know that.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
All right, Arizona State head football coach Herm Edwards, good enough to join us here today. Coach, thanks so much for your time. Keith, thank you as well. Guys, you have a great weekend.
Thanks now.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio. ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
Partly sunny skies this afternoon with a high of 85 degrees. Tonight, mostly cloudy down to a low of 64. And tomorrow, partly sunny, then slight chance of thunderstorms with a high of 84. I'm Leanna Ray for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Weather brought to you by Cullet Seal Coating, protecting the asphalt surfaces around your home, office, or commercial property. Crack filling, asphalt sealing, and parking lot striping. Find us at culletsealcoating.com.
Are you involved with a school or charitable fundraiser that holds an auction, bid and buy booth, or raffle to raise money? Many of the most popular items at auctions or booths are autographed sports memorabilia items. How can you get great items in your event? Call Adam Walter at Sports Investments. Sports Investments has a consignment program for fundraisers that has provided outstanding items. You select items that are proven sellers, including autographed pieces from Tiger Woods, LeBron James, Joey Votto, Billy Hamilton, FC Soccer, The Big Red Machine, Andy Dalton, AJ Green of the Bengals, UC, Xavier, Kentucky, NKU, Dayton, Louisville, Notre Dame, and Ohio State. Sports Investments consigns the items to your group at a highly discounted price, and when they sell, you keep the profit. You don't pay anything in advance, and if something doesn't sell, you simply return it. You'll enjoy the experience of dealing with the Walter family. Call them at 513-891-5000. Email Adam at sportsinvestments.com or visit them on Montgomery Road right off I-275, just 40 minutes from WING.
When I say Central Ohio's premier link-style golf course, what do you think of? It should be Windy Knoll Golf Club in Springfield. What used to be a world-class horse farm is now a stunning link-style golf course, complete with full-size steel horse sculptures and black rail fencing all around the course. And it's open to the public. Windy Knoll offers a challenge to golfers of all levels. Outstanding course conditions add to a truly exceptional golf experience. Get your friends together and come out and play at Windy Knoll Golf Club in Springfield.
Have you ever wanted to learn a new language like French, Spanish, or Russian, but thought it would be too difficult and time-consuming? Then go to Babbel.com and try it for free. Babbel works because it's built around real life. It teaches you everyday practical conversations that you will actually use. In 15 minutes a day, you'll be on your way to speaking a new language in just a few weeks. Babbel uses a modern conversation-based technique that makes language engaging, fun, and memorable. It starts by teaching you words and phrases. Then, sentences gradually get more complex. Soon, you're practicing short conversations about real-life topics. Babbel is created by language experts who use the spaced repetition method to help you learn quickly and remember what you learned. With Babbel, you can speak a new language. Babbel, language for life. Now try Babbel for free. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com, Babbel.com.
Save big money on your next project with 11% off everything at Menards. Get pure water for your home with a Watts Under Sink Reverse Osmosis water system. It features a 3-stage system that is certified to reduce chlorine taste and odor in your water. Pick one up now for $145 after 11% off at Menards. Prices are good until August 22nd. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Finding the next job is a big job, and that part of what you do is a little tough right now. Because of that, Lowe's for Pros is here to help. Get $400 in leads on us with a free 1-year subscription from HomeAdvisor to connect to jobs that make sense for you. Sign up at lowesforpros.com/pro-loyalty to get started. Just one more reason why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Now let's get to work. Subscription and $400 lead credit subject to HomeAdvisor's approval and terms. Valid for new HomeAdvisor customers only. Lowe's loyalty required. More terms apply. Valid through 9/9 U.S. only.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Oil change coming up? We can help you out. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Pennzoil high mileage motor oil and an STP oil filter for just $27.99. And if you need it fast, we can help you get it fast. Whether it's at home with our next day delivery or in store and curbside with our free same day pickup. The choice is yours. Getting the job done just got easier. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ever wonder just how far an extra mile really goes? Drive a Mercedes-Benz van and find out. Start with a network of over 250 authorized dealerships, backed by a sales force ready to help you with everything from customization to service on vans like the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter that's tailored to your lifestyle, with options like blind spot assist and MBUX voice command for spoken directions, weather, and more.
The route is being calculated.
So whether you're enjoying life on the trail or working hard on the job, see how far an extra mile can really go by taking the first step into an authorized Mercedes-Benz van dealership today. Mercedes-Benz vans start at just $33,790, now with 0% APR financing for up to 60 months.
MSRP on a 2019 Sprinter van excludes all options, Texas title, registration, transportation charge, and dealer prep fee. Options, model, availability, and actual dealer price may vary. See dealer for details about costs and terms. Some equipment is described as optional. APR valid on 2019 Sprinter vans, excluding cab chassis, only to qualified commercial customers exclusively through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services at participating dealers through August 31st, 2020.
Napa know-how. At Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers, get a $25 prepaid Visa card when you get any Napa automotive battery. It's the best deal for some of the best batteries from some of the best car people around. But we might be a little partial. Anywho, pick up any Napa automotive battery and save $25. Do it yourself or have it done for you. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores and Napa Auto Care centers while supplies last. Offer ends 8/31/20.
School goes on.
And Staples has everything you need to start the year right.
From notebooks to sanitizer, laptops to masks.
And all at amazing prices. This week, select one subject notebooks and Staples 2-pocket paper folders are just 10 cents each.
Select notebooks and folders for a dime. That really is amazing.
Plus, you can shop in-store or pick up curbside. School on, save on at Staples.
Ends 8/22. In-store only. Limit 6. While supplies last. Curbside available in most stores.
Hey, you. Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Follow ESPN 1410 Wing AM on Facebook to watch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Listen, stream, and now watch. It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash. Weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. on 1410 ESPN Radio. On Twitter, make sure to give us a follow. Search 1410 Kinner for Justin Kinner on Twitter. That's 1410 KINNER. And ESPN Dayton for the station Twitter handle.
All right, that interview with Herm Edwards. If you want to go back and watch that interview and catch that again, that is on the ESPN Dayton YouTube channel. Go to YouTube and subscribe to the ESPN Dayton YouTube channel. Of course, you can also find it on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page, which we are live on, by the way. You can watch the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash weekdays from 3 to 6 every day right here on Facebook Live. Of course, listen, stream, watch. Many ways that you could take the show in. And Herm Edwards, how about that? That was cool. And so you got to hear that. So now, like, you could just tell the comfort level within that conference is night and day different than the Big Ten. And that's obviously, Kevin, that's the fault of the commissioner and obviously the relationship that the Big Ten teams have with their commissioner. But no, you heard Herm Edwards. I mean, it was 12 for 12. All 12 presidents, athletic directors, coaches, everyone was on the same page. It was a universe. Like, there is no drama. Right. That's why I asked Herm Edwards about the parents. I'm like, well, we have parents of Big Ten teams who are demanding answers to where they are literally protesting outside the Big Ten headquarters in Illinois. And he just kind of looked like, yeah, I know. I mean, again, it was a video interview, so his facial expression is talking about this. He goes, "Yeah, that ain't here." Like, he hasn't heard from any of his parents, like in a negative light. Like, they've been very, upfront, transparent about everything. So it isn't like I can see. I mean, there is a lot of weird, shady stuff going on with the Big Ten, Kev. So I get the frustration, but it is interesting. 2 Power 5 conferences postponed the fall, and yet only one of them is having this mess. The Pac-12 is just smooth sailing.
Smooth sailing. It's quite alarming. It's quite alarming, man. Goes back to leadership and transparency. And I guess the only transparency they're willing to give is that letter.
Yeah, and other news out of that, too, by the way, the NCAA votes to give extra year of D1 eligibility to fall athletes. Now, this is similar. If I'm not mistaken, in the spring, I think the ruling was in the spring was that seniors would get that extra year of eligibility.
I didn't see it. I didn't read the article yet.
On what?
on the transfer thing.
No, but that's what it is. So in the spring, last spring, when they canceled baseball and everything, every senior athlete kept their eligibility. Every single senior kept their eligibility for one more year. Not every athlete.
Right.
This fall one is different. This is why I don't like this rule per se, is every fall athlete here in 2020. So basically, this is a free year for all fall athletes, and that's whether you play in the fall or the spring.
Okay.
So if Alabama, LSU, the SEC, ACC, Big 12, they all play this fall, it's a free year. Like, so if you're a sophomore, you're a sophomore next year. If you're a junior next year, senior. And if Ohio State plays come spring or winter or whatever the hell month they decide to kick off in, seniors are seniors again the next year, sophomores are sophomores, yada, yada. So they got that approved. That would have made more sense for the spring when you canceled everything.
Right.
Like the spring season of baseball last year, baseball, softball, everything. This would have been seniors, if you want to come back for another year, we'll allow it. But if you play, if you opt out, fine. No, you're excused from, but
I guess they're anticipating that those schools aren't going to be able to play football.
I don't think that. I mean, this is one of those. It's going to be interesting. I don't know how that's going to work. So, Paul, I could see you are just trying to be a troll as much as possible today. I could just block you very quickly on Facebook. I have no problem doing that. But he says he loves the show and listens every day. So
hi,
there's
Paul.
that. Tell Paul hi. He loves you, Kev Nash, by the way. Anyways, one of those days. I'm not going to let someone like him get me in a bad mood heading into the weekend. So, So there you go. But no, so that rule, I have no issue with that ruling. I have no issue with that other than the fact that I do think it's weird how they decided on that compared to what they did back in the fall or the spring with those where only seniors got that extra year. But you're right. They anticipate a mass exodus.
Yes.
Lane Kiffin, and I meant to ask that. I meant to ask Herm Edwards that today about what Lane Kiffin had to say. And I'm angry at myself that I didn't do that. That was the one question I wanted to ask Herm Edwards about, and I completely forgot, was about thoughts on, your players right now. He talked about how they're right now just trying to keep their minds off of it. They're having a big Madden draft right now, playing Call of Duty and some others, whatever. And no, it wasn't Call of Duty. What was the game? You even said that. You laughed at the game. Was it Call of Duty?
Yeah, it was Call of Duty and Madden.
Okay, well, good for them. But, I wanted to ask him straight up, hey, the SEC, the others, they're chomping at the bit to take your players. What are your thoughts on what Lane Kiffin had to say? I can't believe it. I'm still waiting. That's the ruling from the NCAA I really want to hear because I'm in the middle on it. Like I'm against them telling, no, you have to stay with the team in a conference that's not playing. But I'm also against, hey, it's a free for all. Everybody can be poached all at one time. Because that's why, by the way, they were planning on doing that entire thing about. They were planning on doing that one-time transfer exempt rule. Remember where you could transfer one time and then they put a halt to it. Why? Because they paused it. Yeah, basically. So they figured everyone from the West Coast, because at the time, remember back in March, it was really bad over in the West Coast. Yeah. Not that it's that much better now, but you talked about it. They're complete remote learning anyways. Yeah, I see why they paused it. So I don't think that they're going to approve that if that's the case.
I could see that not right now. Like when things get back to normal, then they revisit it because it is a sensitive time to just be like, if basically an entire team transfers, then that school is SOL. If they don't have anybody on the team.
Oh, real quick, Paul, you must have got internet down in your mom's basement because, man, you're just blowing up this feed. Just go away, Paul. No one's talking to you. Anyways, Doug Morgan on Facebook says, great interview with Herm. He's an outstanding leader. Love that guy. Absolutely. I mean, Herm's one of the best, and I'm looking forward to when we have him on again coming up in the future. So we got Kev Nash over under coming up next. So coming up next.
Oh, next.
Coming up next.
I thought she was ready.
So what are our themes? They're kind of scattered,
It's
correct?
scattered, just like everything on this show. We're scattered all over the place, man.
There we go. All right, Kev Nash brings us over under. That's coming up next. Don't go anywhere.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.
Got a project to do? Use the right equipment and rent from Arts Rental Equipment. With over 50 years experience, Arts has the best selection, delivery, and service, plus 14 Arts locations. Work smart. Rent from Arts.
Meadowbrook at Clayton, formerly Meadowbrook Country Club, is now completely open to the public. Not just the classic golf course, but the entire facility as well. As a former country club, our event rooms and services are exceptional. From weddings and receptions, class reunions, large and small meetings and parties, Meadowbrook has both indoor and outdoor facilities that can accommodate from 10 to 300 guests. If you're looking for a first-class, affordable location for your special event, check out Meadowbrook at Clayton. We're open to the public.
If you like country music and star-studded award shows, then you'll love 5 Hour Energy's CMA Awards sweepstakes. 5 Hour Energy wants to send you and a guest to Music City to bask in the glow of music's brightest stars at the 2020 CMA Awards. To enter, buy any 5 Hour Energy product, snap a picture of the receipt, and upload it. For official rules and how to enter without purchase, go to 5hecountry.com. Sweepstakes ends October 10th, 2020. Must be U.S. resident 18 years or older. Void where prohibited. Sponsored by Living Essentials, LLC.
Labor Day savings are now at the Home Depot, and your fall project list is now even more affordable. Use our mobile app to search, shop, and save. Flexible delivery options that bring everything you need right to your door. And if you need tools for a project, but not forever, you can rent them. You won't find a better toolbox anywhere else. Take on fall with Labor Day savings now at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. U.S. only, while supplies last, valid through September 7th.
Indeed knows you've got big goals for your business, and we understand hiring is a crucial part of that. You need to hire people who will make a real impact. Indeed can help you find those important hires faster while paying only for what you need without any long-term contracts, thanks to our super flexible payment options. Start finding your important hire today with a free $75 credit for your first job post and get in front of more quality candidates. Go to Indeed.com/high impact. That's Indeed.com/high impact. Terms and conditions apply.
Milano's Pizza Subs and Taps now has patio, dining room, and bar seating available. Unwind with your favorite craft beers and cocktails. We have a brand new summer menu for you to explore. Milano's Pizza Subs and Taps, a Dayton tradition.
Hi folks, it's me again, and I'm cooking in the sun just like you are. But you know, you can still plant those trees and shrubs right now, and with proper watering, still gain a full summer's growth. We keep our garden center fully stocked all summer long with thousands of good, healthy trees, shrubs, evergreens, perennials, and annuals, because we know that some folks just can't get it all done in the spring. Also, this time of year, there are lots of bargains all over our 6-acre nursery and greenhouses. We have potted rose bushes as low as $14.95, plats of annuals starting at $12.95, and hanging baskets as low as $6.95. We still have a great selection of Rose of Sharon, boxwoods, hydrangeas, and barberry. So come out to 1309 Brant Pike, and remember, we're open 7 days.
Hi, Joey Beckett here at Buckeye Ford in Sydney, home of the Works package and the Double Take Tire specials. Call today for your appointment, 937-419-8473 or 1-800-700-0050. Buckeye Ford in Sydney, exit 92 off of I-75. We'll see you soon.
Here's a question for you. Which Miami Valley golf course was voted the #1 golf course in the Dayton area? It's Turtle Creek Golf Course. Another question. Which golf course was rated the #4 best public golf course in the state of Ohio? That's right, Turtle Creek. And which course was rated the 18th best in the USA with green fees under $50? Right again, it's Turtle Creek. Here's my last question. When are you going to get your pals together to come out to Turtle Creek Golf Course and play? We're an easy drive to Greenville. See you soon at Turtle Creek.
Contractors, use the right equipment for your project and rent from Arts Rental Equipment. No storage, no maintenance, no hassle. 14 Arts locations and online at artsrental.com. Work smart. Rent from Arts.
Finding the next job is a big job, and that part of what you do is a little tough right now. Because of that, Lowe's for Pros is here to help. Get $400 in leads on us with a free 1-year subscription from Home Advisor to connect to jobs that make sense for you. Sign up at lowesforpros.com/pro-loyalty to get started. Just one more reason why Lowe's is the new home for pros. Now let's get to work. Subscription and $400 lead credit subject to Home Advisor's approval and terms. Valid for new Home Advisor customers only. Lowe's loyalty required. More terms apply. Valid through 9/9 US only.
School goes on.
And Staples has everything you need to start the year right.
From notebooks to sanitizer, laptops to masks.
And all at amazing prices. This week, select one subject notebooks and Staples 2-pocket paper folders are just 10 cents each.
Select notebooks and folders for a dime. That really is amazing.
Plus, you can shop in-store or pick up curbside. School on, save on at Staples.
Ends 8/22. In-store only. Limit 6. While supplies last. Curbside available in most stores.
If finding a high-impact hire is a goal for your business, use Indeed. You'll find lots of great candidates and no long-term contracts at Indeed.com/high-impact.
ESPN Dayton's fan hotline, 937-210-9676. Something on your mind? Let us know. Leave a voicemail or text us your hot sports take. All takes will be heard weekday afternoons on the Justin Kinner Show from 3 to 6 p.m. Save 937-210-9676 in your phone. It's the ESPN Dayton fan hotline. Whether you're at home, at work, or in your car, tune in to ESPN 1410 Wing AM or stream us live at wingam.com.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash back with you here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Happy Friday. Woo! I'm starving. I'm trying to do this eating healthier thing. I had a salad for lunch, and it was good. It was a good salad. I could eat Caesar salads for days, by the way. But I'm like starving, like literally like an hour later.
You got the shakes.
I'm about to begin some chocolate shake, cheeseburger, French fries. Okay.
Going
to get Mexican food tonight.
Nice.
So there you go. It's my Friday ritual. Actually, this Nora's Friday ritual. I just follow along because I don't mind the Mexican food. So there you go. I could eat Mexican food. I don't know. What I could eat, if you could only pick one kind of food that you had to eat the rest of your life, what would it be? I'm torn between seafood and Mexican food.
Italian food.
Oh, I like Italian food too. Damn it. Man, I honestly don't know. Seafood or Mexican food? I really don't know. I would think Mexican. Growing up in a Hispanic family, my grandma makes, my grandma, my aunt, my family, they make the best Mexican food out there. So that would be tough. But I could eat shrimp, fish, salmon. Damn it. See, I'm hungry. We got to we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 5 minutes to get out of here. Kev Nash brings us over under.
Kev Nash brings you over under.
All right, Justin, we're all over the place with this topic today for over under. All right, Ohio State has currently
0 games.
Ohio State currently has 18 commits for the 2021 class. Over or under 3 decommitments? Under, because I think that I get people's concern about, so I'm gonna say the under. I get people's concern about the impact of recruiting due to the Kevin Warren pulling the plug on the Big Ten season. By the way, just because we started this, our listeners love food. But anytime you brought up the grilled pizza last time, it hijacks the food. Ron says Mexican food. That's our question of the day for the last 5 minutes. What's the one food that you could not live without? That if you, for me, I'm between Mexican food and seafood. I think I'm going to say Mexican food. If I could only choose one kind of food to eat the rest of my life, I guess it would be Mexican food. But again, nothing else. Like, only be Mexican food. So anyways, under, you said it's all over the place. Yeah. Under, because I do believe that it's going to have an impact on recruiting for some programs in the Big Ten, the fringe schools, schools that struggle getting the elite talent to begin with, like Indiana and some of the others. But I don't think Ohio State's going to be impacted by this. I think that if any top recruit has concerns about going to Ohio State, those same concerns are going to exist for other programs, because until sorry, someone said beer. Yeah.
Doug, well played. I think that we got to wait. I'm going to wait to see if the season actually kicks off for the other conferences. Because if it does, then maybe my answer might be a little different. But for right now, I say 0. If there's a decommit, I don't think it's going to be COVID related.
Okay, I'm gonna go with the under as well. Stick with Ohio State with the Big Ten canceling the football season. Over or under 6 Ohio State players transfer.
Man, that's where I see the decommits I'm fine with because that's so far from the future. As far as transfers, I think until we hear word from NCAA, it's going to be up in the air. But to sit there, I think it's typical Ohio State fans to think that, there's no place else that Buckeyes would rather be. Well, they would like to be somewhere where they could play. So I do believe that it's going to be, I'm going to pick the under, but I think it's going to be right around 5. I think you'll get about five players that'll transfer whenever that time comes. By the way, the season, September 28th, the SEC season kicks off. I think the ACC's around the same time, but I do know the SEC is the 28th.
Getting close. I'm going to go with the under as well. The St. Louis Cardinals have...
The COVID Cardinals.
The St. Louis Cardinals have played 14 games in a 60-game regular season. Under over 48 games played for the St. Louis Cardinals.
So you like to finish the season?
Yeah, a total of 48 games.
I think they're going to, they're going to get, they may not get all 50. So you're saying 48? Damn. I say the over. I'm gonna say I think they have to. They have to get the 50 games in. Then there's already teams complaining about all the double headers. But hey, I have no sympathy for the Cardinals. Get your full 50 games in because I don't want to hear about that win percentage crap. I'm not for that. No. We play your games, and by the way, the games that you don't play should be counted as forfeits.
Ooh.
Like that's the other thing. I don't know why we haven't talked about that. Let's say, what if they don't get 50 games in? Oh, you're getting 50 games in because if you missed games because of your players screwing around and going to the casino and breaking protocol, you shouldn't find a loophole into the playoffs by a win percentage. Like I believe that the games you missed that you weren't able to make up because of your players not following safety protocol, those should just be forfeits. Then forget this win percentage stuff. They're just losses. You don't get to play those games. That's on you. That's a loss. So no, I think unless that's the rule, they have to get those in. I anticipate them doing everything they can to get those games in.
I'm gonna go with the under as well. We haven't had a big, 3-4 straight days of rain or thunderstorms. A hurricane hasn't hit like the Gulf Coast and brought torrential downpours to the Midwest and everything like that just yet. So I'm still gonna go with the under for the St. Louis Cardinals. All right, here's a good one. The Browns have tons of weapons and options at wide receiver and tight end. OBJ, Jarvis, Hollywood Higgins, Hooper, and Njoku, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Over or under 4 of those players with 700 yards receiving this upcoming season.
I think that it's going to be, you said over under how many?
700 yards receiving.
For all of them?
Four of those players.
I'm going to say under, but I do believe OBJ and Jarvis will be over that 700 range. And then who are some of the other weapons you mentioned?
Hollywood Higgins, Hooper, and Njoku.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, they got late in the draft. I just going to say I'm going to say the under. I think those two. I think everyone else, Higgins, they're going to have over 500. I mean, they're going to have good years, but no, I think the two, Jarvis and OBJ, I'm going to take the over as far as the 700 is concerned. OBJ going to go for 5,000.
No. What I'm saying is
5,000.
Goodness gracious. Over under 4 players getting 700 plus yards.
Oh, combined.
No.
Damn it, Kevin. You got to work on these, or I got to do a better job of understanding them.
Jarvis plus 700 yards. OBJ plus everybody on there for those 7.
Oh, yeah. I said the under. Okay. I only think, so you did good. I only think Jarvis and OBJ will be that over that 700.
Okay. Fair enough. I'm going to go with the under as well. Hooper maybe around like 600 yards. Hollywood Higgins maybe like 400 yards. There's no way.
They're going to be a run-centric team.
Exactly.
So there's no way. In fact, if anything, we probably got it wrong. I think Hooper, if there is one that's going to get over that, it might be Hooper, because if Baker hasn't been able to figure out how to throw that long ball again, like he did a really good job his rookie year, but last year he struggled with that. Of course, when you have receivers that drop everything that comes their way, do it. Hurry up. Get out of the way. Stone hands. Hurry up.
I wasn't going to do it. It's the weekend. I'm being nice.
But I think that Baker's going to rely on the short game a little bit more than trying to go for the deep threat every time. And so I think it's going to go. He's going to work with the run game into the tight end and then open it up outside to Jarvis and OBJ. So yeah, who knows? But it's going to be interesting nonetheless.
Fair enough. Last one with the Lakers Lakers beating down the Portland Trailblazers last night, 111-88. They had tied the series at 1-1 in the first round. Over or under one more win for the Portland Trailblazers in this series?
I'm going to say the under. I thought the Lakers were going to sweep this to begin with. Like, we joke a lot, but I did think, like, when everyone was, like, I don't say overreacting, but reacting to the dominant tear that obviously Dame Lillard was on, I just don't get overly impressed with guard play because that's all the NBA is. You could turn on any game and watch a great guard play. Now, he's above and beyond what most guards are playing, but it's not that hard to find great guard play within the NBA. It's about what's around them. And we've seen great scorers in the league who just, they always have their chances, but they never seem to get it done. He was in the Western Conference Finals. But now with, one of their top players going down, just one less weapon, they were already undermanned to begin with going up against the Lakers. I think the Lakers figured something out. Anthony Davis needs to live down on that block and score on the inside. I think they're going to pick up where they left off the other night. I don't expect a big blowout like that again, but I think the Lakers win and close this out 4-1 when it's all said and done.
I think Portland gets one more. I think they can squeeze out one more game. I think Dame can carry him to one more win, because in that first game, he really didn't go berserk. He had a real good first quarter, and then he got hot in the fourth. He'll go berserk in one game and get on one game. But I really think that the Lakers are, obviously they're a better team than them. I mean, it's LeBron James.
Because they got the GOAT. The GOAT, remember?
We're gonna start
the greatest.
We're gonna start that at 5:56.
The greatest.
Really gonna do that.
The greatest GOAT of all time. The greatest GOAT.
I'm gonna go with I can't even go over. I gotta go with the under because I don't push. It's a push. It's your push for me.
All right, folks. A week from today, we will be calling high school football. Woo-hoo! ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. If you're watching live on Facebook, take a look. Here's our schedule for the season. We're beyond excited. Centerville at Fairmont a week from tonight is where we'll be kicking off the season. Looking forward to seeing Springfield. Mo Douglas and company will be at Centerville the following week. We'll get to see Wayne in week 3, Wayne and Centerville, Miamisburg and Fairmont week 4, Fairmont and Wayne week 5, and Centerville and Miamisburg in week 6. So again, if you want more information on our ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week broadcast, head to wingam.com and check those out. It all kicks off a week from tonight, week 1, Centerville at Fairmont, and we are excited about that. Myself and College Football Hall of Famer Keith Byers will be on the call all season. One more time, it's the ESPN Dayton High School Football Game of the Week. You can listen on air and stream us live at wingam.com. Kev, it's been a good week.
Yes, sir.
The interview with Herm Edwards, great stuff. That's going to be up on the website at wingam.com. And subscribe to the ESPN Dayton YouTube channel. Head there now. Subscribe. Like it. And by the way, congratulations to Nick. Nick was the winner of our Skyline Chili $25 gift card. So he's been contacted already. We have a lot of gifts coming up, including the PGA 2K21 video game for Xbox and PlayStation. We're getting like 40 copies of that thing. We're going to be giving away a ton of those coming up next week and the week after. The PGA 2K21 video game. We know how much they kick ass when it comes to the 2K basketball side. The golf game is pretty cool too. We got a lot of those copies in, and we're going to be giving those away. And all you have to do is subscribe on YouTube, follow the page on Facebook, the Justin Kinner Show on Facebook, and comment in the comment section. Those are the 3 ways you could be eligible to win. Not you though.
Not me. Not me. I'm not eligible. I work here.
So there you go, folks. Have a great weekend.
It's the Justin Kinner Show with Kev Nash on 1410 ESPN Radio.